Back-to-back Saturday match days on BBC Radio Suffolk now, and today's main feature comes from Molineux, where Ipswich Town are preparing to face Wolves. Kick-off's just moments away. Former Town captain Mick Mills is alongside your commentator Brenna Woolley.
Well, the first goal hasn't counted for a great deal in several of Town's games this season, last Sunday being a recent example. There's a feeling around this match today that whoever does strike first in this battle between two clubs in the Premier League's relegation zone could well go on and secure what would be a huge 3 points. What's pretty much a certainty is that if it's Ipswich who go ahead, the atmosphere here will become very difficult indeed for under-fire manager Gary O'Neill and his players, whoever's to blame for Wanderers' woes this season. Monday's defeat and another supposed 6-pointer at West Ham has piled even more pressure onto the home side this afternoon. Well, a lot of people would have predicted newly promoted Ipswich's struggles at the start of the season. It wasn't really in the script as far as Wolves are concerned. Ipswich, like the home side, have lost their last 3, given the ominous run of fixtures on the horizon, desperately need to take something from here this afternoon. Whether all of that means we'll see an open game or a cagey one, only time will tell. Just waiting for the two teams to come out of the tunnel slightly down to our left-hand side. And unlike most people, Mick, you don't feel this is quite a must-win for Ipswich Town this afternoon, do you?
No, I don't, because it's only just into December. There's more than half a season to go, and anything can happen in that sort of space of time. I just feel that any time you come across to the Midlands to play Wolverhampton Wanderers, if you return to East Anglia with a point, then you've done really well, and I do not disregard today as being one of those occasions. You know, they are very up and down this season, Wolves, but they've been in the Premier League a few seasons now. We're new to it. I wouldn't say we're finding it too tough. We're very, very close to gaining the results that we require, and I just firmly believe that if you can match your best form for the majority of a game, and certainly today's game, then we've got a very good chance of gaining the 3 points. Last week against Bournemouth, 45 minutes, we reached the top of our form, and then there was 45 minutes when we didn't, and consequently we just narrowly lost the game. You know, we will definitely give Wolverhampton a run for their money, because that's what we've done with most people this year. So it'll be a close game. It'll be a close game right to the very end of the match. So I'll take a point.
Good travelling support following Ipswich Town again in the West Midlands here this afternoon. They've got the lower tier of the stand opposite us here at Molineux as the two sets of players pat palms on the halfway line. Town have made 3 changes from Sunday's defeat to Bournemouth. One of them looks enforced on Kieran McKenna. One would imagine that Sam Smodix has an illness. He doesn't feature at all. Johnson and Taylor drop to the bench. In come Harry Clark, Jens Kajuste and Wes Burns. So it's Murrich keeps his place in goal. The back 4 of Clark, O'Shea, Burgess and Davis. Then it's the Wolverhampton boy Sam Morsey alongside Jens Kajust. A 3 of Burns, Chaplin and Hutchinson. Delap plays up top through the middle. On the bench, Walton, Phillips, Townsend, Jack Clark, Wolfenden back in the 20, Taylor, Al-Hamidi, Broadhead and Johnson. Town incidentally in their blue shirts with the white pinstripes, white shorts, blue socks. Wolves in their traditional old gold shirts with matching socks and black shorts. And talking of Wolves, they've made one change, Gary O'Neill, to the side that lost to West Ham on Monday night, that 2-1 loss. João Gomez picked up his 5th yellow of the season, so he misses 1 game. Bellegarde comes in to their front 3. Johnston, the England international with 4 caps to his name, is their goalkeeper, arrived from Palace in the summer. His back 3 is the new captain, Semedo, Bueno and Totti. The wing-backs down the right-hand side, Doherty, down the left, Nouri, in between them, Andre and Lamina. In front of them, floating around, Cunha, who's been their player of the season so far, very highly regarded. They're probably fearing that he might depart in January. He and Bellegarde support their number 9, Strand Larsen, a Norwegian on loan from Celta Vigo with a view to a permanent deal. He's been very, very good for them this season, one of their highlights. So they're clearly very good in attack. Defensively, though, they have got serious problems, Wolves, particularly from set pieces. And of course, they were the team a couple of weeks ago that conceded 3 penalty kicks that Clive had scored for Bournemouth. On the bench, Bentley, Lima, Dawson, Forbes, Hwan, Guedes, Doyle, Gomez and Mapueu, who's an untried French 18-year-old defender. What do you make of the goalkeeping decision then? Mick Mills, you were quite clear post-match Sunday that you'd have gone with Christian Walton today.
Well, I did hear your comments earlier when you were discussing the situation, and once the decision has been made, you have to go with the manager's decision, and you've got to support Muric today. And I totally agree with that. You know, all the discussions through the week don't matter. The decision has been made. Let's hope he has one of his best ever games, you know. But, you know, building up to the game, I did firmly believe that Christian Walton deserved his opportunity, and I thought that Kieran McKenna would have given it to him.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments. For me, if Town had 2 star turns this afternoon, I'd love it to be Wes Burns and Aro Muric. Just about ready to get this game underway. And if you're looking for omens, you'll look at the match officiating team. The referee, Simon Hooper, did a certain win over Huddersfield in April at Portman Road. VAR, Darren England, he did the win at Tottenham recently. And even the 4th official, Lee Doughty, did a 6-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday last season for Ipswich Town. Play underway in this huge game at the wrong end of the Premier League table. It's 19th versus 18th. Ipswich Town in 18th place. Both sides on 9 points from 15 games. Wolves have the ball in the centre of the park. It's Lamina, the Gabonese midfielder. He's tripped and in a little bit of pain. The challenge from Chaplin got the goat of Simon Hooper. Very experienced referee. Very good one as well, the match official. Let's hope I'm not tempting fate by saying this, but he's blown up very early on for this foul by Chaplin. He's got a smile on his face, apologising towards Lamina, who completely lost his rag post-match on Monday at the London Stadium. Lamina, no great surprise that he was stripped of the captaincy. Here is the Brazilian Cunha. He's going to be a massive threat to Ipswich Town, the number 10. Wolves with Cunha on the left-hand side. He will float, gives it back to Lamina. Remember, Town beat Wolves 3-2 in the League Cup at Portman Road last season, although this has been a far from a happy hunting ground down the years. 1 win in 17 here for Ipswich Town down the years. Town haven't scored in the last 5 league meetings between these two sides anywhere. They have tended to be either 0-0s or 1-0s in Wolves' favour. There's not been much between them when they've met in the Championship. When they did for a few seasons. Chaplin gives the ball away after Ipswich had been granted possession cheaply by Wolves. Here's Bellegarde, the French midfielder. He's gone on a good run far side, holding off Kayuste. Kayuste very light in the challenge, eventually trips him from behind. Free kick. Kayuste caught out far side the Wolves right. Bellegarde travelled quite a distance with the ball, and now Wolves have an early chance to punt the ball into the Ipswich Town penalty area.
Yeah, our pressure has been pretty relentless and it's been good, but Wolverhampton in very sort of tight areas, they've kept possession really well, and some of the situations where you didn't expect them to. So they started the game well in possession. We've started the game well as a pressing team.
Town's final away game before Christmas. They're at home to Newcastle in a week's time. That final chance before the festive season to get their first home win. Let's see if they can get their second win away from home here this afternoon. Cunha on the right hand side for Wolves, crosses the ball into the Ipswich Town area, headed away well by Davis, brought down by the Algerian Aït-Nouri to the left hand side. He gives it to Doherty, the number 2, playing with gloves on infield. Wolves have it now at the back with Semedo, the Portuguese former Barcelona player. On the right hand side, Cunha trying to get away from Hutchinson. He's managed to do that. Well played by Cunha. In comes his cross to the middle towards Strand Larsen. Might drop down for Aït-Nouri. No, he nods it back to goal, edge of the box. Wolves have it with Andre, the Brazilian defensive midfielder. Wolves with plenty of the ball, urged on by the home crowd. Did play some nice stuff against West Ham on Monday night in that tight affair. Cunha infield, controlled by Morsey. Early ball forward from Morsey, just away from Delap. He was unlucky. Totti gets it back to Johnston. He's part of England's last squad at the Euros, Johnston. Andre up towards Bellegarde, who's definitely drifted across the right-hand side. Cunha a little bit more left in terms of those attackers playing in and around Strand Larsen. Now Semedo certainly playing to the right of that back 3. Coming forward is Totti. Scored at Portman Road last season. He loses the ball. Chaplin to Delap. Burns wants it in behind. It's floated out to the right-hand side. Back comes Lamina. Burns will get on the ball outside the Wolves box. Just eased off the ball by Lamina. Lamina out to Cunha. Cunha gives it to Ait-Nouri. It's very highly regarded. Ait-Nouri's been linked to some big clubs in the Premier League. Better going forward than going back, so Burns might get a chance against them. Be interesting to see how they match up on this near side, the Ipswich right, Wolves left. There is Burgess. How good was he on Sunday? Nice to hear from him earlier on match day. Cameron Burgess taken to this level of football very well. Here is Morsey. I imagine he's got some members of his family here back in the West Midlands, possibly some of them supporting the home side. Burgess over halfway to Delap on the far side. Infield from Delap to Hutchinson. Hutchinson's done well, gets away from a couple of challenges. Nice little change of direction. Davis gives it back to Hutchinson, who goes to ground. The referee says play on, right in front of those thousands of Town fans, less than impressed by Mr. Hooper's non-blow of the whistle.
Yeah, and I think we deserved one, really. We've sort of given them 2 or 3 free kicks away. That was definitely one in our favour.
Far side Doherty, former Ireland international, lost the ball, and then in trying to regain it, clearly tripped Leif Davis, and now hearts will be in mouths, because Wolves will have to defend a set piece on the far side of the field. This is a chance for Ipswich Town, given the way that Wolves' season has gone so far. And as we know, Davis has got the quality to cause problems. Wolves defending Ipswich Town's first set piece of this Premier League relegation battle at Molineux. A very soft underbelly when it's come to such situations so far. Davis puts it in towards Chaplin, well read, cleared away as far as Morsey, blocked off by Wolves initially. Davis puts a second ball in there, volleyed off the edge of the box, this time by Semedo.
Yeah, they've obviously done their homework from that free kick, trying to play the ball directly to Connor Chaplin.
O'Shea curls the ball at the Wolves box, headed away powerfully by Doherty in his second spell at Wolves. Was at Spurs and Atletico Madrid in his time away. Morsey pulls on the shirt of Cunha, spotted by Mr. Hooper. Cunha with a quickly taken free kick diagonally across to the far side, headed down by Davis, well defended. Hutchinson goes to ground, the referee says free kick to Ipswich. We played 6 goalless minutes.
Yeah, and that was a good start by Wolves. It was a lively start, and but we slowly but surely got ourselves in the game. Sam Morsey was the one that started to slow it all down, you know, just to take the sting out of the game, and we've done well since.
Clark puts the ball in behind for Burns to get onto. It's a good ball by the former Arsenal player. Ait-Nouri pushes Burns to the floor, then comes away with the ball. Burns doesn't get the foul. He's then shrugged off by Ait-Nouri. Infield from him, edge of the area. Andre turns it into the box to the Uruguayan Bueno. He kicks it over the top of Cunha, one in the air by Clark instead, but ahead tennis inside the Wolves half, nodded in field by Harry Clark. Hutchinson looks to be outnumbered, it comes down to Chaplin. Chaplin slices his attempted pass in field. The lamp goes down under a challenge from Bueno. Free kick to Town, 30 plus yards from goal.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 silly mistakes coming from Wolverhampton. That's 3 free kicks they've given, or 2 they've given away, and the other one should definitely have been a free kick against Wes Burns on the byline there. So they've lost the domination of the game, and they're getting a little bit sort of ill-tempered, if you like.
Hutchinson desperate to take this free kick. In the end, though, he's let his captain take on the honours. Sam Morsey, about 30 yards from goal, marginally right of centre, over this free kick to Ipswich Town at Molineux. Hutchinson to his right hand side. The vast majority of the players off to our right in their black or old gold shirts. Morsey paces back a few yards, dinks it into the Wolves box towards the far stick where Burgess is. Flick header out behind from Wolves. Town have won a corner. Yeah,
good ball. He's a lot of space to put the ball in, but he found that space, and there were some good attacking runs by Town players on the back post, particularly Cameron Burgess, and the Wolves defender had no option. He had to just give a corner kick away. But good ball from Sam Morsey.
You can see that Wolves aren't the tallest of sides. That's clearly an issue of theirs from set pieces, and a reason why they've conceded so many. Ipswich Town in the 9th minute have their first corner kick of this game. What can Davis do with his delivery from the far right corner? The Town fans behind him. Puts it in low to the near stick. Paul cleared away as far as Hutchinson. The ball rolls up his chest. He maintains possession by pushing it back to Morsey. Morsey plays it back into the Wolves box, headed away by Totti. Could have left it with a shout. He didn't get that shout. O'Shea nods it down to Burns. Burns' header finds Burgess. Burgess looks to release Clark on the right. Headed away by Aït-Nouri. There is Lamina. The ball goes into the Wolves area, and it's with Totti, one of 5 Portuguese in this Wolves squad. 3 Brazilians in the 20 as well this afternoon. Just 4 English players, 2 of those the goalkeepers. Here is Dara O'Shea, who Wolves did try to sign in the summer before he went to Ipswich Town, former West Brom player. Burgess to Hutchinson. Hutchinson scampers to the far side, then plays it 5 or 6 yards to Davis. Hutchinson gets the ball back from his left back. Again, very high up the field, Davis, as he so often is. Now Dara O'Shea on the centre spot, up towards Hutchinson, back to Morsey, then Kayuste lofts it to the left-hand side. Davis, he brings it down. This is nice play from Town to Hutchinson inside the area. He dinks it towards the far stick, punched away by Johnson. On the stretch, Burns couldn't get on a hold of it. Best bit of play from either side in this game, that from Ipswich Town. Cunha takes on Clark, gets away from Clark too easily. This is a great run. Cunha still has the ball for Wolves. He's gone square midway inside the Ipswich Town half. Cunha still has it. Eventually goes down. The referee says play on. Nothing wrong with the chance from Kayuste. Then his ball over the top was terrible, but that was a nice run from Cunha. Town took a long time before they could get the ball off of him.
Well, it was a very good run, but he just overdid it. I mean, he's facing the right touchline. There was a player on that right touchline. He should have played it to him. It's a case of do your work and then keep the progress going by giving it to a colleague. He had overdone it in the end.
Gary O'Neill and Kieran McKenna, very similar coats on down below us. Cunha over the top for Wolves, headed back to his goalkeeper by Davis. Good solid defending, calm under a little bit of pressure from Bellegarde as well. That was nice from Leif Davis, showing they're both on their black puffer jackets with the hoods on down below. Gary O'Neill relegated as a player with Norwich City 8.5 years ago, trying desperately to get Wolves away from the lower reaches of the Premier League table. They finished 14th last season, 20 points from relegation zone. On the left-hand side, Liam Delap trying to get into the box. Brilliant run, typical of Delap. He's into the box, he goes down, he pulls it back towards Burns. Chaplin, back to goal in the D now. Chaplin turns, hits it against Lamina's right instep. The ball goes high in the air. Lovely take from Lamina to bring it down, feed Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri gets on his bike. Burns closes them down the line to the danger. Cunha checks in field. Cunha still has the ball, gets away from Clark. Clark's got his work cut out this afternoon. Needs all the help he can get. He got it from Morsey and then Burns. There is Kayuste, number 12, gliding around midway inside the Ipswich half. 11.5 goalless minutes gone on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport.
There's a terrific run from Liam Delap, and it was sort of slightly questionable as whether it was a penalty in the end, because there was a challenge came in on him, and it looked as if it was a dodgy challenge, but he's quick, Liam, and another defender just didn't realise it.
Neither of these sides has been awarded a penalty in the Premier League so far this season. Here is Burgess, gives it to O'Shea. O'Shea with diagonal to the right hand side. Too much on that for Burns, nothing he could do. He generously gives the thumbs up towards Dara O'Shea, the Welsh winger, but it was beyond him, and it's out for a throw-in on this near side. 7 years since these two sides last met in the league. 1-0 to Wolves in both of those games as they were on their way to the Premier League. Wolves with Doherty on the far side. He's been a good goal-scoring fullback down the years, a couple of seasons in a row. He got 8 goals from that area. No mean feat. Here is Totti. Aït-Nouri came on at Portman Road as a sub last season, the Algerian. He's getting in field with a little trick, gets away from Burns, tries to find Strand Larsen. Blocked off by an outstretched Ipswich leg. Throw on this near side, which Cunha has come across to take. He had a run out as a substitute at Portman Road last season. Mateus Cunha, 7 goals so far from this campaign. He's looked the part so far in this match. Bueno to his right hand side. Semedo crossing halfway. Semedo gives it short to Bellegarde. Infield towards Doherty making a run into the Ipswich area. Town defend it well, then Kayuste holds it up against Bellegarde. Just behind left back is Leif Davis in the far left corner. Now Muric, his first touch of the game, gives it back to Burgess, who laid the ball in field for the Kosovan. Cleared by Burgess, but onto the chest there of Semedo, who really is a good footballer. Now it's with Totti, closed down by Chaplin. It's terrific to see Connor Chaplin get his first Premier League goal on Sunday. Typical Chaplin finish it was as well. Bittersweet moment given the result in the end though for him. Here is Totti flinging a ball out to the left hand side. Norrie's quick, but he's not that quick. That was always going to favour Harry Clark, and a throw in for the Town right back, then release Norrie with any purpose.
Yeah, Wolves play a system of 3-4-3, and I can see the slight problems they do have. It's actually through possibly their best player, Lamina. He's one of the central two, but he's
Delap on a run. Can he get away from Semedo? Delap might get away from Semedo. Delap's done brilliantly inside the area. He's still got the ball. Gets to the byline. What strength into the middle. Surely Hutchinson has to score. Amari Hutchinson off the line. Chaplin now gets a chance. Chaplin! Again, it's bounced in. Chaplin goes to celebrate. It's probably going to be given as an own goal. It came off a Wolves defender. Heads are down off to our right-hand side amongst the Wolves ranks, and in this massive game at the bottom of the Premier League table, it's Ipswich Town who celebrate the opening goal after 15 minutes.
What an amazing goal, and again I actually had to stop talking. That wasn't Liam Delap's ball. The pass forward to him wasn't necessarily his, but I've watched him many times now, and you just have to stop talking because there's a great chance that he's going to win possession of it, and he did, and he drove against the lone defender. He always had the beating of him. He got into a fabulous position. We should have put the ball in the back of the net from his cut back. We didn't, and then Connor Chaplin has an opportunity. His shot goes in, and it must have bounced off about 3 different people in a forward way, backwards, forwards, and then ended up in the back of the net. It's a great goal to get, but the point I was going to make about Wolverhampton is Lamina is only one of 2 central midfield players. He makes forward runs, he wanders into wide positions, and they vacate that midfield. They've got a lack of numbers in the centre of midfield.
Thank goodness Town scored from that. Amari Hutchinson would have been embarrassed to have missed a chance. It'll go down as an own goal to Matt Doherty, one would have think. Gary Doherty's a bit retro. Matt Doherty has gone down as an own goal. Just watching back on the replay, it was Chaplin. Well, Hutchinson won effectively off the line. Chaplin won effectively off the line, but the Chaplin one then hit another Wolves defender and went into the goal with Johnston helpless. So Ipswich Town have got the first goal of this game.
Well, you did say that Doherty does score goals.
Yeah, and Delap,
but not necessarily that in.
Delap's just phenomenal. What a run that was. Semedo, who's a very good player, just couldn't handle him. Just too strong and forceful and quick. It was remarkable what Delap did to play a massive part in that goal. And 1-0 to the Tractor Boys as the champion. Of course, we've been here so often. Town do score first in a lot of games. Let's see how Wolves and their crowd react to that setback. Ball out on the near side. As Gary O'Neill, well, not good for him at all, for his team or potentially his future. And what a bizarre goal for Wolves to concede as well. Here are Wolves at the back with Bueno, gives it to the right hand side, and Semedo, who just couldn't handle Delap. Here is the own goal scorer Doherty. On halfway, Wolves have it again with Bueno. 17 on the clock. Cunha for Wolves. Got some good players, Wolves. These are 2 of their best, Cunha and Lamina. Andre trying to find Cunha, well read by Kayuste, then gives it to Chaplin, who understandably led the celebrations for that opening goal. Clearly the last Town player to touch it before it ended up in the net. Now Burgess to Hutchinson. Hutchinson turns, gets away from Andre. It's been held back. He was just too good for the Wolves midfielder on that occasion, Amari Hutchinson. Free kick, and I think Simon Hooper wants a word with the Wolves number 7.
Well, there's extreme pressure on Wolverhampton now, because we sort of talk about our position and the pressure of us to get results. Well, the pressure on Wolves is greater today than what it is on us, and now they've gone a goal behind pretty early in the game, so they will be feeling it, there's no question.
Burgess finds Davis on the far side, infield to Hutchinson. Town obviously had their confidence boosted by going ahead in this game. 18 gone, Town give the ball away. Doherty plays it infield for Strand Larsen. Paul going away by Clark, that's not good enough. Lamina has a go, gets right underneath it, skips it high into the crowd, and Muric is still waiting to make his first save.
Yeah, awful shot. He's sort of probably 30 yards away from goals, and he tries to actually steer it in the back of the net with the side foot shot, and absolutely no chance. You know, if you're that distance from goal, the one requirement is power.
Well, it wasn't a massively negative reaction from the home crowd to that first goal, but I think if Town get another one anytime soon, there will be an almighty reaction. Burns hangs in the air brilliantly, heads it in field for Chaplin, nodded away by Lamina. Chaplin couldn't do much with that. Morsey loses the ball, wasn't quick enough, then pings off him. Clark gets onto it before Cunha goes back towards Burgess. Now Leif Davis, as Town thread passes up the halfway line, infield to Hutchinson, seeing a bit more of the ball. Amari Hutchinson on that left-hand side. Back it goes to Burgess. Kieran McKenna pointing and talking down in the edge of his technical area. O'Shea along the deck to Wes Burns. One of those three changes ahead of kick-off. Burns, Harry Clark and Cayuste in for Johnson, Taylor and the ill Smodics. O'Shea to Burgess on halfway. Burgess up towards Delap, caught offside. Unlucky. He's a nightmare for defenders, Liam Delap, isn't he, Mick?
Yeah, no question about it. He just is an absolute 100%er. You know, he makes lost causes into good ones, you know, and bad balls into good ones. He's an amazing fighter.
Yep, no doubt he's already penciled in for some analysis on Match of the Day tonight for his part in that opening goal of this game.
Yeah, and they've got a bit of footage before that goal on the other side doing exactly the same thing. So, you know, that's ideal for the media that want to show the public exactly what he's all about.
21 minutes gone in this match. Ira Muric has the ball inside the Ipswich Town area with his pink gloves on off to our left. He floats the ball to the halfway line. Hutchinson can't get there ahead of Bueno. Burgess makes that his before Bellegarde. Good strong play. Hutchinson stayed down. Town can't get the ball on halfway. It's going to be all right, Hutchinson. The referee says play on. Wolves have the ball with Totti on the halfway line. Home crowd getting a bit agitated, a bit impatient that Wolves didn't make the most of Town effectively being down to 10 men. Ipswich lead 1-0. An own goal from Doherty separates these two sides. The last goal Town scored against Wolves was an own goal, scored by Richard Stearman. Wolves played over the top, but it favours Muric well ahead of Strand Larsen.
Yeah, I don't like the vibe. If I was a Wolverhampton supporter, there's one or two players that are showing a lack of interest, if you like. They're walking instead of running, their heads is down a little bit. That goal is pretty much, you know, it's hurt them.
The last bona fide Ipswich Town player to score a league goal against Wolves after these successive own goals was actually Aaron Cresswell back in the day, very early on in Mick McCarthy's tenure as Ipswich Town boss. It's been that long. Burgess down the far touchline to Delap. As ever, he's up for the battle. Ball goes out of play for an Ipswich Town throw as two defenders have been drawn to him on the far side, Doherty and Semedo.
Well, we always say how amazing it is because he's always up against two players. Today he's up against three, so it's a massive job on his hands, you know, it really is. But he'll have a go at it and he'll come out of it very successful.
Quarter of this game gone. Mick Mills alongside me at Molineux for Town, leading 1-0 at Wolves on BBC Radio Suffolk. Cayuste has done well in midfield, threads it through to Delap just outside the box down the left hand side, takes a nudge in the back from Doherty, turns the ball back to Davis. Davis gets into the box left of centre, lifted into the middle, no one's there. Both Chaplin and Burns have gone to the penalty spot. The ball evaded both of them in flight. Nori carries it out, then he's held up, goes back towards Totti. Grumblings of discontent are becoming a little bit noisier, a little bit louder inside Molineux when things don't go the way the home fans want them to. Here is Semedo, the captain, over the top towards Cunha. Harry Clark heads it back to his goalkeeper, well defended. Good work from the right back. Yeah,
it's better. That's normally sort of Harry's Achilles heel, that one, and Ben Johnson's the crossfield ball. They tend to go in a little bit too far. On that occasion, he's got his distance in absolutely perfect.
It's one clean sheet in 12 now for Wolves, although Liverpool and Manchester City only won 1-0, both of them here, it has to be said. O'Shea inside his area, wants to get away from Strand Larsen. Poor from O'Shea, plays it straight at Cunha, infield. Lamina, he's got a man square. Bellegarde with a chance for 1-1. Oh, awful, but brilliant as far as we're concerned. What an opportunity for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He should have scored, Bellegarde, and he's missed by a mile.
That was a massive miss. It's beautifully worked, and it was the adventurous Lamina who set the goal up. That's what I mean. He plays as a pair in the centre of midfield, but he's a mover. He moves forward, he moves back, moves sideways, and on that occasion he's been picked out right on the edge of our penalty area, and he just sets up Bellegarde exactly. If Bellegarde had asked for the ball to be played in a certain position, it would have been where it went, and his shot was awful.
Terrible mistake from Dara O'Shea, set that up. That was awful from him initially.
Yeah, it was.
Here is Hutchinson on the far side, trying to take on Doherty. Ball's come off Hutchinson last. It's a throw-in to the Irishman. 1-0 Town lead, 25 minutes gone. An own goal separating these two sides at the moment, but wow. Thankfully that was Bellegarde rather than Cunha that fell to that chance. It was actually against Cunha that O'Shea played the very poor clearance. Fans getting agitated because Doherty's taken a long time over this throw-in for Wolves. Eventually gets it forward, touched down by Burgess, but kind of got curled out of play. It's an Ipswich Town ball. Leif Davis is going to be taking this throw-in.
Well, I've never known home support to get so agitated about a delay on a throw-in
Yes.
at this stage of a game. You know, it was remarkable. They were really angry behind that goal.
Says it all. Town leading 1-0. Burgess gives the ball to O'Shea, who has been very, very good for Ipswich Town of late. It has to be said, Dara O'Shea. Back to Burgess. Burgess into midfield. Hutchinson. His layoff isn't anywhere near Davis. Out for a throw into Wolves. Immediately the fans getting on the back of Doherty. Not as if he's taken that long about this throw-in. And here, what they think about it. Wow, they really will.
The thing is, if there's nothing available, what can you do?
I know. He's just got to block that out, hasn't he? Town players down the years have been in similar situations like that when fans have reacted negatively to possession or backwards or sideways passing. You've got to just stick to your beliefs and stick to the way the manager wants you to play. Nice link-up play. Aït-Nouri to Totti. What's his cross like? Flings it to the far post beyond Muric, headed away by Davis. In play still. Doherty has it on the right-hand side into the Ipswich Town area. Bellegarde, who's just missed that chance, down the right-hand side of the box, faced by Cayuste, wants to get to the byline, needs support, gets it from Doherty, sets himself. In comes his cross to the near post, punched away well by Muric. That'll do his confidence the world of good. Back in, maybe a chance for Wolves. No, Aït-Nouri couldn't control it. Burgess got it away. A little bit of pressure from Wolves, a bit more positivity from the stands. Given away though by Andre. Well done by Davis. Infield to Morsey. Here come Town. Morsey carries to halfway, beyond the halfway line. Burns wants it to the right. He's played it to Hutchinson, left corner of the box. He's held it up. Hutchinson still has the ball. Back come the old gold shirts. The momentum's gone, but Town still have the ball. Wide left outside the Wolves area, looking for a second goal. Chapman's in the middle. Delap, Burns. Eventually Town win a throw-in.
Yeah, that was potentially a really good breakaway. We had problems in defence. I think Leif Davis should have headed the ball out for a corner kick, but he opted to head it infield, still inside the penalty area, and we were in trouble. That cross was a good one. Muric got us out of trouble. Great break, and then it just sort of just petered out to nothing, and we've got ourselves a throw-in.
Quite a quick 27 minutes in this game. Town leading. Jens Cayuste has this throw-in, and it comes to the Wolves area. Back header from O'Shea towards the penalty spot, nodded away by Bueno, brought down on the right instep of Hutchinson. In comes his low ball to the box, cleared away poorly by Totti. As far as Burns, Burns has crossed towards Burgess. Burgess still up from the throw-in, and as far as Burns. Burns controls it to Clark. Clark gets away from Lamina, holds off Andre. Good pressure this from Ipswich Town. Hutchinson on the right-hand side for a moment. Gets away from Cunha with a little trick. Cunha barges into the back of Hutchinson. Town get a free kick.
And I agree with the referee there. The Wolverhampton player, Cunha, is complaining like mad, but he actually did sort of tap Murray's heels.
Morsey standing over this latest free kick for Ipswich Town. 35 maybe or so yards from goal. Town leading 1-0 at Molineux. Morsey on this free kick. Blue shirts lined up along the edge of the area, off to our right hand side. Burns, Chaplin, Delap, both centre halves are up there. Morsey puts it in towards O'Shea. Flick header away is a good one by Semedo. Doherty clears down the far touchline, but only after the ball had gone out of play. It's a throw for Town in the attacking third.
It's been a good performance so far.
Yep.
There's no question about it. The one thing we've done, or two things we've done, we've taken the lead, we've quietened the stadium down, we've got the home supporters moaning like mad, and we're also playing quite well.
Kiyuste with this throw into the Wolves area. The back header across the face of goal is dealt with by the hands of Sam Johnston. Started his career at Manchester United, came from Crystal Palace in the summer for £10 million. Wolves in the D off to our right. Bueno plays it into the path of Semedo. Got 16 minutes to get a first half equaliser. Wolverhampton Wanderers. The lights are on at Molineux. Doherty plays the ball into the Ipswich area to Strand Larsen. Good hold up play to the middle. It goes. Clark was in the centre. Good covering from Harry Clark. Got there before Lamina clears it out far side. Wolves quickly take this through, and Doherty puts the ball into the Ipswich area. Burgess is defending against Strand Larsen, who's done well. Has he won Wolves' first corner? Yes, he has. But strong player, the Norwegian.
And that's the point I was making there. The ball was still fully 40 yards from our goals, and Lamina made a forward run to make a forward line of 5 gold shirts. And for me, it was a little bit early. They couldn't possibly come across the field because he had done that.
Half an hour gone exactly. Town lead 1-0. Wolves have their first corner kick though, and it comes from Cunha, headed away well, maybe by Leif Davis back there. Headed away towards the halfway line by Bellegarde. Bellegarde's now on it. Missed the best chance of the game for Wolves so far to draw level. Here is Semedo now just south of the centre circle. Wolves have it down the left hand side with Totti, the centre half. Looks up, puts the ball into the Ipswich area. Muric comes for it, punches it away well. Strong goalkeeping. Bellegarde lofts it to the left. Burns, the red hot favourite to get there ahead of Aït-Nouri, and makes a decent fist of his clearance towards the halfway line. Delap has 3 Wolves players roundabouts, and so scared of him they are. Here is Totti down the line to Aït-Nouri. Burns has a nibble at him, and then Chaplin fouls Aït-Nouri. It's always going to go down. Town leading 1-0, Graham.
Liverpool behind at home to Fulham and down to 10 men. Leicester behind at Newcastle.
As Lamina has the ball. Well, that's a surprise in terms of the Liverpool scoreline. Here is Totti of Wolves charging forward into the Ipswich Town half. Aït-Nouri in the left, bends the ball into the box towards Lamina. Lamina hooks it back towards the D. Doherty is there, trying to level up, having scored the own goal for Ipswich Town. That as far as Cunha. Cunha wants to take on Hutchinson. Cunha gets into the box down the right side of it, low into the middle. It comes, it travelled the distance. Touched away brilliantly by O'Shea, because Lamina was about to blast into the net for 1-1. Last-ditch defending, effective defending from O'Shea. Gary O'Neill thought the ball was going to go out of play on this near side. He went after it, but
it was brilliant
away from him.
I think we had sort of 8 outfield players in the box, making sure that didn't drop to a gold-shirted player. That was a dangerous moment. Good, packed defending.
Town still lead at 1. That's lifted the home crowd though, that little passage of play. And Newcastle ahead against Leicester. That's a good result as far as Town are concerned. Newcastle at Portman Road, 3 o'clock. Next Saturday. Long ball forward by Lamina towards Strand Larsen, well dealt with in the air by O'Shea. He's a handful up front, the Norwegian striker, 6'5" of him. Here is Connor Chaplin back in between Burgess and Davis, playing the ball up towards Delap. Semedo got the better of him on that occasion. 12.5 minutes to go until half time. Wolves knocking on the door. Aït-Nouri near side, up against Wes Burns, having to do a good defensive job. Burns. Aït-Nouri gets in field away from Morsey. Aït-Nouri reverse ball in the box. Strand Larsen straight at Muric. He spun and hit. That was nice play. Morsey was beaten too easily in the build-up to that effort from Strand Larsen. Chaplin's gone down off the ball.
It was a good move. Nouri did very well. He's a tricky left back, not something that you would normally want to describe a full-back as, but he is very tricky, and he set up Larsen really well. Muric did really well. He's comfortably made the save. He's actually had about 4 or 5 contributions, Muric, and has handled it really well. 2 beautiful punches out of the box. That's a steady save for him, and with the ball at his feet, he's been fine. So he's got over his mishap of last week. But this has been a decent performance by Town. The Wolves opened nicely first couple of minutes, and then we slowly but surely got possession of the ball. Sam Morsey slowed the game down, which was the right decision to make. Let's settle it down, let's take the heat out of it, and then slowly but surely we started to take the game to Wolverhampton, and pretty constantly through this half, we've been well organised in defence, and you're very positive in the amount of players we throw into attack. That's impressed me a lot, really, because that often shows you how confident a team is, and the fact that we're 1-0 in front, the home fans are getting agitated. They're all definite pluses for us at the moment.
It's this fella on the screen in front of us. They've zoomed out from you now. They love a shot of you on the TV cameras here at Molineux, Mick. Every time I look down, they're either picking at you, Robert Plant, or Ed Sheeran. That's the kind of company you're in here this afternoon.
In that order.
You're first.
Well, yes.
Robert Plant was second, and then Ed was a bit on the drag. But they love zooming in on you every time I look down at this little
Pleased with
screen.
the order more than anything.
I thought you might be. Chaplin's back up on his feet. It was interesting during that break. Kieran McKenna got his 2 midfielders together and was doing some very in-depth coaching, and pointing out a few things to Sam Morsey in particular, and then a bit with Jens Kajuste as well. We're about to get back underway, minus Chaplin, although he'll be back on the field pretty quickly. He's primed and ready for action down below us as Muric kicks the ball from left to right, headed by Andre in midfield. Cunha picks it up, tries to play it up to Bellegarde. He manages that. He's wrestling with Davis. He goes down and wins a free kick. Quickly taken by Bellegarde to the right-hand side. Doherty crosses into the Ipswich area. Burgess gets himself in the way. Bellegarde above Morsey. Back to Goldstrand. Larson turns, brings it down, shoots off Burgess. Again, excellent defending from the Australian on a couple of occasions there. Out for a throw.
Yeah, because I think we were unlucky not to get a free kick, when Leif Davis, he was actually carrying on questioning the referee's decision. And that caused us a problem because he stayed out of position and Wolves tried to capitalise on it. So we've defended well in Leif Davis's absence.
9 minutes to go until half-time. Town leading 1-0 on BBC Radio Suffolk. Wolves on the attack inside the area and comes across towards Aït-Nouri, headed away well by Morsey. Delap goes after it, doesn't get on the ball. One back by Cunha of Wolves. Definitely a nice footballer, this lad. Cunha forward to Bellegarde. It's Lamina. His shot deflected. Wouldn't have caused Muric any problems. It was a side-footed sort of past effort really from 18 yards, but particularly once the sting was taken out of the shot, very straightforward for the Kosovan.
Yeah, again, a wrong decision for me. That's 2 attempts he's had at goal, and both required a little bit of power, and he's tried to place both shots and has got nowhere near producing a goal.
Aït-Nouri running back towards his area, cushions the ball into his box, and Johnston goes out towards Semedo. 36.5 minutes played in this first half. As you'd expect, there's a fairly chilly Molineux Stadium. It was around about 32,050, marginally bigger than Portman Road, but similar size of stadium in the West Midlands. Comes next away trip, of course. There was a certain game at the Emirates on the 27th of December. Backpedaling to get the ball to his keeper is Totti. Johnston on the edge of the Wolves box, goes to the right-hand side, finds Bueno. Bueno passes it away from Delap up towards the chest of Strand Larson. Wolves have it with Andre. Not for long, but they got it back off of Hutchinson. Andre for Wolves, over halfway up towards Bellegarde. Morsey's gone after him. Bellegarde gets the ball out to the left-hand side, and Aït-Nouri. Overlapping is Lamina. Lamina has the ball on the left-hand side. Has played in a back 3 this season for Wolves, Lamina, but was certainly in the engine room this afternoon alongside this man, Andre. Back it goes to one of the defenders, Bueno. He pings it off of Semedo, his captain. Andre picks it up, glides forward a few yards with a couple of touches, then to the left-hand side, Totti. Shimmies infield. Totti's still got the ball, but gives it away to Morsey under pressure. Morsey finds Chaplin just in front of right back. Chaplin infield. Lamina takes it off of Morsey. Well done, Delap. Delap gets it off Andre, gives it infield to Hutchinson. He controls it, but goes back to Burgess. 7 minutes till the break.
Yeah, good play by Liam Delap there. He saw his teammates in a little bit of trouble, just decided to go back and help them out, and did everything that was necessary, tidied the whole scene up, and has given possession to his colleagues.
Morsey exchanges passes with Kiyuste, gives it to O'Shea, back with Kiyuste in the centre circle, drops his shoulder, gets away from a couple of players. Brilliant play this from Kiyuste. What a run, tries to lay it off to Hutchinson, who shoots. It's on target, forced the save out of Johnson down to his right hand side.
Yeah, terrific run from Kiyuste. He's completely and utterly in control of the ball and the situation, and it was a dangerous run towards the Wolverhampton penalty area, and a lovely little set-up for Amari Hutchinson, and I would have expected Amari to be a little bit disappointed with that one.
Yeah, very active with his arms down below us. Gary O'Neill clapping around, a little bit unhappy with something and trying to get his message across. I'm not sure anybody quite picked up on what he was trying to get over to his players. Wolves at the moment have the ball. Final 6 minutes of this first half. It's been a good first half for Ipswich Town. They still lead 1-0. That own goal after 15 minutes from Doherty, following the shot of Connor Chaplin. Chaplin heavily involved in Town's last 2 goals now. Totti over the top for Aït-Nouri. Ball swings in field. Aït-Nouri was never going to get on it. It always favoured Dara O'Shea. He clears his lines as far as Semedo. Andre, the little number 7 in midfield, came this summer for £21 million, did Andre. First European club of his career. Did play against Manchester City in the Club World Cup last year. Wide on the left-hand side, Aït-Nouri drills the ball to the D, brought down by Cunha, and it just went away from him. If anybody could control that ball and create a chance, it would be him, but that one was just a bit too heavy, and so too was his touch. And it's back with
good
Murridge.
Defending by Leif Davis to sort of follow the shot in. He was the only one, whether forward, a player for Wolverhampton or a defender for Town. He followed it in nicely, and then good talking from Murridge to say, you know, leave it alone, that's my ball, I'm taking charge. So that's good defending.
Murridge has the ball in his 6-yard area. There's going to be a real negative reaction to half-time when it comes, if the home side are still trailing 1-0. Wolves have a player down off the ball in quite a bit of pain. That's Bueno, the centre half. Looks like he's got to dig in the ribs somehow. Hutchinson's gone over to perhaps apologise for what would have been an accidental dig. He's clearly in a bit of pain though, Santiago Bueno. Just in general, how do you feel that Leif Davis's defending has come on in recent times? Mick, you highlighted some good work from him there.
Yeah, superb really. You know, he's played up against some marvellous sort of right side attacking players, you know, since the start of the season when his opponent was Mo Salah, and you know, he's dealt with it much better than I ever thought he would. He's carried on his good defensive work. The one in particular I felt he did really well was Ben Johnson down at Tottenham. Took him out the game. The lad at Brighton, Mitoma I think it was, took him out of the game, you know, and it hasn't stopped him from, you know, he must look at the team sheet that he's, or the player he's playing against, and sometimes that can make you become negative as an attacking player, but no, not Leif Davis.
Clark, long ball, Hutchinson gets onto it, goal side, wide right. The ball wouldn't quite settle down from it, bounced around a bit, and that allowed Aït-Nouri to nip in there, turn and clear. As far as Clark stretches, nice touch from Clark, found Morsey, very handy position. Here is the captain once again for Ipswich Town leading this game. Morsey goes back to O'Shea on the halfway line. Final 3 minutes of this first period. Clark then goes back towards Aro Murridge, and all heads turn off to our left hand side. Now O'Shea in front of right back, gives it to Clark in for Ben Johnson this afternoon. Not a massive amount between those two perhaps in the eyes of Kieran McKenna when he comes to selecting his team. O'Shea to Murridge, out to the left hand side, Burgess can have a chance to play it out of the back three. Far side, the left, Kiyuste, infield towards Hutchinson. Bueno goes with him, back to Burgess, and now Morsey in the centre of the Ipswich Town half. Town are 2 minutes plus added on time away from a first half lead. at the interval. Chaplin scoops the ball up over the top of Bellegarde. Ipswich, plenty of possession. It's good from Ipswich Town, keeping a hold of it. Morsey down the right hand side looking for Burns. Burns high on his chest, takes the ball, but it goes out of play. And then there's a bit of head-to-head stuff between Aït-Nouri and Burns. Silly from Aït-Nouri. The referee wants a word with both of them, but I don't see that Wes Burns did too much wrong at all.
Absolutely nothing.
No, I don't know what Aït-Nouri's got to say.
Aït-Nouri was stupid. It's almost as if, how dare you chest control a ball like that near the touchline when you're playing against me? You know, I'm a good player. You know, it was ridiculous. Yeah. It really was, and the referee should recognise it and not have anything to say to Wes Burns.
No,
at
I
all.
agree.
Just talk to the culprit. We all know who it was.
Yeah, totally. And his assistant on this near side got a really good view of it, and Burns and Aït-Nouri still having a little dig at each other, but Wes 100% innocent. I completely agree. You're right, there's just almost arrogance on the part of Aït-Nouri. How dare you have the ability to take that ball on your chest right on the dead ball line and inadvertently make a fool out of me, sort of thing. And the red mist descended. Anyway, play back on the way. Quite rightly, it wasn't worthy of a yellow card to either. And it's just a throw into Wolves. Aït-Nouri to take it, headed on by Strand Larsen. Morsey then loops it up towards Lap. Over the top of him, Johnston gets to the edge of his area quickly and holds on to the ball. Final minute of the first 45, but a couple of breaks will mean that we'll see at least 2 minutes, possibly 3, because of the goal celebration added on. Johnston, Delap goes after him as you would expect. Poor kick from Johnson. No, he's got up to Cunha. Looked a bit risky at first. Cunha into the path of Lamina. Wolves pouring forward, trying to get this equaliser before the break. Doherty on the right hand side. Poor ball in. Cleared away well enough by Burgess. It reached Morsey. Hutchinson finds Chaplin. Delap's peeled to the right hand side. Here is Burns with his mate Aït-Nouri, who goes into the back of him. Burns reacts a little bit. Wes needs to walk away from that. Aït-Nouri's going to get a yellow card.
3 minutes at a time. 3 minutes.
Silly from Aït-Nouri, but Burns just curbed it. It's a yellow card for Aït-Nouri.
Yeah, and he seems the type of player that could get more than that by the end of the game. He's a bit fiery, a bit silly.
Silly to get a yellow card, or to put 2 half yellows together in the space of a minute, if you like, which is what he's just done. That was daft. Last thing Gary O'Neill would need this afternoon is to be reduced to 10 men. 3 minutes of added on time to be played. We're just going in to that period. Morsey with a long range free kick for Ipswich Town. Thomas Hutchinson to just narrow in a bit. Plays it to the edge of the Wolves box off to our right, over the top of O'Shea despite his best efforts. He felt he was being impeded. Ball's out of play behind for a goal kick. Johnston quickly gets the replacement ball, and Burns has been told to go back and replace the corner flag by the referee.
But he hasn't got any tools with him.
He's got to go into... He can't believe it. Town fans.
I've never seen that before.
No, exactly.
I think most players would possibly just tell the referee where to go.
He's given him a thumbs up, cheeky little thumbs up from Wes towards Simon Hooper. He did drag it out and then lay it on the floor.
But I suppose when you're 1-0 up and he's inviting you to waste time, that's good.
Whatever it takes. We are 90 seconds into the added on 3 minutes. Johnston from his 6-yard area clears towards Bellegarde. What a chance he missed in this half to level. Free kick given by the foul from behind on him by Kiyuste. Wolves to the halfway line, and Cunha turns nicely from Clark, plays it forward into an area which Burgess sprints into. Again, excellent defending, keeping things tight at the back. Cameron Burgess. Johnston goes back to Totti. Time ticking away for Wolves to get a first half goal. Totti goes long. Strand Larsen's made a run, blocked off by Chaplin. Aït-Nouri brings it down near side. Little drag back, has people in field of him. Everything to his right. Shorty goes to Andre. There is Bueno. Town lead 1-0 live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Trying to get their second Premier League win of the season and go 3 points clear of Wolves. A win won't get them out of the bottom 3 here this afternoon, but it will be a great victory all the same, after taking nothing in particular from Palace and Bournemouth at home. Kieran McKenna's never lost 4 successive league games in charge of Ipswich Town. That was the threat this afternoon. According to my watch, that's it for the first half. A little bit beyond it, no sign of the whistle just yet. Town keeping their shape, all 10 men behind the ball, good discipline, and Wolves can't get through them. Any negativity around Molineux at half-time. The home side trailing Ipswich Town by a Matt Doherty own goal to 0. A good first half for Ipswich Town, Mick Mills.
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't really know whether Wolves were a good side, a bad side, or an indifferent side before I came here today. But we're as close to them as you could possibly be. This has been a really close game. They started marginally the better. We slowed the game down through Sam Morsey. We then sort of got into a bit of a rhythm, and then the real key points in the first half without question were 2 contributions from Liam Delap. One, a surging run down the left channel, which I thought almost ended up in winning a penalty on the byline. That was the one sort of bit of work, forward run from an individual that often just rocks a team back on their heels. It reminds them that this isn't all going to be about you. You're going to have some real defending to do in this game at some time, and then he's repeated it again, this time on the right hand side. A brilliant surging run, the type of run only he makes. He's got to the byline. We should have scored from his cut back, we didn't, but we managed to force a second shot which rebounded off a number of players and went in the back of the net. And by that time, what we've done, we've sort of taken the sting out of a Wolverhampton side. We've made the supporters get on their backs. The stadium was either quiet or a moaning stadium. That's exactly what you want as an away player, and the confidence in our team was building, and that's what you want as well, so it's been a really good half. We defended very well. I mean, we've only had one shot on target at both ends of the pitch, so that tells you how well we're defending. When it's gone beyond the back four towards Muric, he's looked fine. He obviously has got over the mistake he made last week. The 4 little contributions, and they have been small contributions, have been fine. 2 great punches out of the box, 1 easy save to the ground, and 1 cross he's taken. So he's done everything you want of him to do. I think we're as good as Wolverhampton in the centre of midfield, because they lack numbers in there. They have a little bit of an indisciplined player, a good player, Lamina, but an indisciplined one who vacates the area far too much for me. It gives us a lot of room in there, but they have got some talent. Kuna is a good player without question, so we've got to come back out refreshed, repeat the job that we've done in the first half, and there's a real possibility of a good result.
Fingers crossed. It would be brilliant if Ipswich Town could get that second victory of the season here at Molineux this afternoon. Certainly so far so good. They lead Wolves by 1 goal to 0 at the break.
Elsewhere in the Premier League, Liverpool 0, Fulham 1. Andreas Pereira scoring in the 11th minute. Andy Robertson sent off shortly afterwards for the home side. The half-time whistle's just gone in that one with the visitors ahead. It's the home side on top at St James's Park. Newcastle leading Leicester by a Josh Murphy goal to 0. Goalless at the Emirates between Arsenal and Everton. We'll hear briefly from Nuno Espirito Santo and Unai Emery during our half-time report. Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa is the 5:30 kick-off. Result from the Championship, the 12:30 kick-off at Deepdale. It finished Preston 1, Leeds 1. Elsewhere this afternoon in League One, Cambridge United are 1-1 away at Wrexham. Colchester are goalless with Newport. I'll give you some score updates from around the grounds locally when we return in just a moment. We'll also hear from Nick Garnham watching AFC Sudbury this afternoon.
Wayne Babin at breakfast.
We've been chatting a little bit about our Be Kind to a Kid at Christmas toy appeal.
We're going to miss it now, because every time we go shopping we're looking at the toys.
How are food banks in Suffolk doing?
She's a 72-year-old lady. She said, well, don't worry, dear, I've got 2 tins of soup to tide me over. That was enough for our team. They delivered it that afternoon.
We had a call of desperation from a young chap who had his bike stolen. I put a call out to the community to see if anybody had an adult bike for him. Within 24 hours, we had 5 offers of bikes.
Wayne Babin at breakfast. Breakfast.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio Suffolk.
Half-time in our main feature in Matchday. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Ipswich Town 1. A Matt Doherty own goal. Town just about on top in this one. One of 3 points this could potentially be. Do join us for the second half. We'll be back with Mick Mills and Brenna Woolley shortly. Locally this afternoon, Needham Market goalless with Southport in the National League North. In the Southern Premier League Central Division, Lowestoft are 2-1 up away at Bedford Town. Goals from Joe Duffy and Carl Haylock. Leiston trailing at home to Sturbridge 1-0. I believe AFC Sudbury are on top at home to Hitchin. Let's find out for sure. Nick Garnham's at the Mel Group Stadium.
It's AFC Sudbury 1, Hitchin Town 0. The home team are ahead through Ollie Peters' 8th-minute strike, but they've certainly not had things all their own way. Sudbury looked as though they may overrun their Hertfordshire opponents after taking the lead, but Hitchin have fought their way back into the game. The visitors spurned a gilt-edged opportunity to take the lead after just 7 minutes, when a long ball out of defence caught out the Sudbury back line and left Rio Dial one-on-one with James Bradbrook, but the Sudbury keeper saved with his legs. It was to prove costly miss as Sudbury took the lead just a minute later, as Miles Cowling turned away from his marker on the halfway line with the aid of a ricochet and then threaded the ball through to Peters, who confidently dispatched his shot past Sebastian Stacey. Hitchin got themselves back into the game and Bradbrook saved from Harry Titchmarsh's 25-yard effort, and then the Yellows keeper had to be alert to save at his near post as Ryan Henshaw dived to head clear a right-wing cross and almost diverted the ball into his own net. Sudbury came close when Cowling then set up Joe Neal, but he blazed wide from a good position in the 37th minute. Work to do for Sudbury in the second half, but at half-time at the Middle Group Stadium, it's AFC Sudbury 1, Hitchin Town 0.
Thanks, Nick. In the Isthmian North Division, top of the table, Bury Town 1-0 up away at Tilbury. Jamal Ramadan with the goal. Second in the table, Felixstowe Walter United also 1-0 up at home to Waltham Abbey. Willie Clemens on target. Elsewhere, Mildenhall Town 0, Heybridge Swifts 1, Newmarket Town 0, Brentwood Town 1. Ipswich Wanderers are goalless away at Malden and Tiptree. Couple from the Thurlow Nunn League. In the Premier Division, Woodbridge Town could go up to 4th in the table today. They lead Hitchin by a goal to 0. And the First Division North leaders, Haverhill Rovers, who are well clear at the top, are 7-1 up at half-time in their home match with Swaffham this afternoon at the New Croft. So late game in the Premier League today sees Nottingham Forest take on Aston Villa at the City Ground. A win at home today for Forest would see them climb into the top 4 under manager Nuno Espirito Santo.
I think we have a good platform of an ambition to grow and improve. And we are creating something. I really believe that we are trying to build something together, something nice that can allow us to compete. This is what we have to look at.
Villa are winless in 5 Premier League visits to Forest, drawing 4 of them since a 2-1 win in January 1995. Here's their manager, Unai Emery.
Forest, of course, is always a very respectful team for us. Is now our rival because they are with the same point we have. They are doing amazing season.
Let's have some cricket. Day 1 of the third and final test between New Zealand and England in Hamilton saw the hosts close on 315 for 9 in their first innings. England looking to complete a 3-0 series sweep. Matthew Potts and Gus Atkinson took 3 wickets each for England. Potts says it was a good day's work for them. He was speaking with the BBC's cricket reporter Stefan Schemmelt.
Obviously, you can't really sum up a game off the first day, so it'll be interesting to see how many we get with the bat. You know, we're going to approach it with the same intent and exuberance that we have in the past 2 games. So yeah, you can only judge it really on that. But as far as the bowlers are concerned and the fielders out there, I thought we were excellent. We persevered and tried different things and different ways of getting dismissals, and we stuck at it in the heat.
I know the toss is probably above your pay grade, but what was the thinking of the team behind that?
No, I think when you look at that pitch, we knew it was going to do something and offer something in the morning, and I think it actually did do that. We kept on putting the ball in the right areas, but we found the chances were kind of going through gaps and just need a little bit of lady luck on our side. But we knew if we stuck to our guns that it would come good.
Did you feel like you were a bit unfortunate in that opening partnership?
Yeah, I felt as though we were. We were putting the ball in good areas and creating chances throughout. But it's just a case of sticking to your guns for long periods of time, and that's the beauty of Test cricket.
You got your rewards after lunch in the final 2 sessions?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of those, if you keep persevering and keep on trying to go towards a method of dismissal, that it can reward you, but you've just got to be patient enough to do it.
Come on then, have you got Kane Williamson's number?
No. He's a great player, he played a great knock, and just very fortunate that he played that one late and it rolled back onto the stumps, so yeah, really fortunate for that.
I'd reflect on your own performance though, taking those 3 wickets, including Kane Williamson, getting your chance in this series for the first time.
Yeah, it's nice to get a chance to kind of go out there and show what I can do, and to get 3 wickets, I'm pretty happy with that. But we rock up in the morning and we try and get them out of there as quick as possible.
How does it feel to have to wait for your chance since your major debut more than 2 years ago? You've been in and out of the side slightly. How do you deal with that?
Enjoying every moment of being around this group. We've got a great bunch of lads, great leadership in Ben and Baz, and the rest of the coaching staff. So it's been a right blast.
Ben talked you up as the condition that you're in, that you've got a really good engine. Is that the role that you see yourself playing in this team?
Yeah, I think that can be probably one of my strengths. I work very hard behind the scenes on my fitness and, trying to be available throughout days and then backing it up in the morning. Today was a tough day's graft, but we woke up in the morning fresh and daisy and try and crack on again.
How have you benefited from Jimmy Anderson and the work that he's been doing behind the scenes?
Yeah, just little chats here and there, just thinking about method of dismissal, how rhythm is, a little bit of run-up work and stuff like that, just a little bit of work-ons, and it's been fantastic to tap into only a tiny bit of his knowledge, so I'm looking forward to working with him.
You talked about enjoying every moment and being in this squad. What do you have to do, and what conversations have you had with the management of making that shirt your own on a regular basis?
Yeah, I think it's just about putting performances in out there when you get the chance, and just being ready for any occasion that you, at the drop of the hat, you're in for the game, and try and crack on and do as well as you can, and try and take the result out of it and just put in for the team, and be there and available for the rest of the guys.
It was a real collective effort from the seamers today, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I thought Carsey and Gus bowled beautifully as well, but I think massive plaudits to the skipper. He bowled 3 long spells there, and one of them was 8 overs bouncers. So yeah, I think he can be really proud of his efforts, and he leads the team by example. Probably won't like to take the credit for it, but when we see him doing special things like that, it just motivates you to put in that extra 1% for the team.
Who's got the balance of power after that first day?
Can't really give that.
That's Matthew Potts, the England cricketer, speaking with Stefan Schemmelt after day 1 of the final test with New Zealand in Wellington. The hosts closing on 315 for 9, 3 wickets each for Matthew Potts and for Gus Atkinson. In our main feature this afternoon, Ipswich Town are on top. The second half is next.
Delap on a run. Can he get away from Semedo? Delap might get away from Semedo. Delap's done brilliantly inside the area. He's still got the ball. Gets to the byline. What strength into the middle. Surely Hutchinson has to score. Amari Hutchinson off the line. Chaplin now gets a chance. Chaplin! Again, it's bounced in. Chaplin goes to celebrate. It's probably going to be given as an own goal. It came off a Wolves defender. Heads are down off to our right-hand side amongst the Wolves ranks, and in this massive game at the bottom of the Premier League table, it's Ipswich Town who celebrate the opening goal after 15 minutes. Cunha infield, Lamina, he's got a man square, Bellegarde with a chance for 1-1. Oh, awful, but brilliant as far as we're concerned. What an opportunity for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He should have scored, Bellegarde, and he's missed by a mile. Tate Nori gets infield away from Morsey. Nori reverse ball in the box, Strand Larsen straight at Murrich. He spun and hit. That was nice play. Morsey was beaten too easily in the build-up to that effort from Strand Larsen. O'Shea back with Kiyuste in the centre circle, drops his shoulder, gets away from a couple of players. Brilliant play this from Kiyuste. What a run, tries to lay it off to Hutchinson and shoots. It's on target, forced the save out of Johnson down to his right-hand side.
On BBC iPlayer.
That chemistry that we had, it was something magical.
What's it really like to be in a boy band?
The crowd went wild. It was relentless. You were 100% a product.
They was absolutely ruthless.
Boy bands forever.
I'm a complete Pop-Tart.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
OK, so today in the Premier League so far, second half just underway at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Leaders Liverpool trailing 1-0 at home to Fulham. They've also had Andy Robertson sent off. Newcastle a goal to the good at home to Leicester. Wolves 0, Ipswich Town 1 in our main feature. We can rejoin Brenna Woolley and Mick Mills at Molineux. A couple of texts have come our way. Neil says happy with that, but need to play well in the second half to get the win. Another one here, Wendy, the Subaru fan, ahead of kick-off, predicting 1-0 and Hutchinson to score, pointing out she's got the right score but the wrong goal scorer. And we were just saying off air, Brenner, it's the type of goal, Wolves have conceded the type of goal that you concede when you're struggling at the wrong end of the table. We don't even think Connor Chaplin's going to get the assist for it, because it's Totti's header onto his teammate Doherty and into the Town net, but it'll do for us.
Yeah, poor old goal for Wolves to concede, one of many so far this season. We'll just have to wait and see whether Gary O'Neill pays the ultimate price for it. Wolves have made a change at half-time. Doyle, the former Manchester City midfielder, has come on for Andre, like for like in the centre of the park. That's an interesting alteration from the home team. Town, one would imagine, will be exactly as they were at 3 o'clock. Murch in goal, back four of Clark, O'Shea, Burgess and Davis. Then Morsey, the captain, Kayuste, Burns, Chaplin, Hutchinson, Delap up top. On the bench, Walton, Phillips, Townsend, Jack Clark, Wolfenden, Taylor, Al-Hamidi, Broadhead and Johnson. Just a little break before we start the second half, because Murch is getting his gloves seen to by one of the Ipswich Town coaching staff. Johnston is the home goalkeeper. His back three of Semedo, the captain, Bueno and Totti. The wide players are Doherty and Aitnori on a yellow. In between them now are Doyle and Lamina, and then is Bellegarde and Cunha either side of Strand Larsen in attack. On the bench, Bentley, Lima, Dawson, Forbes, Juan, Guedes, Gomez and Mapueyu as the second half gets underway. And it's Doyle, the substitute, just on the field, gives it back to Johnson. Town in blue with the white pinstripes, playing from right to left against the old gold of Wolverhampton Wanderers. What a 45 minutes we have in store live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Immediately Wolves on the attack, wide left, Aitnori against Burns. Burns goes to ground, he's done well. Aitnori gives him a nudge. Burns runs into Aitnori, somehow the ball stayed in far side. Wolves get it back to the halfway line, and Totti, as Graham was just saying, the unfortunate player whose header hit the backside of Doherty, which then deflected beyond Johnston into the net for the only goal so far. Town have been ahead since the 15th minute of this match, but of course Town have led plenty times so far this season without necessarily getting anything for their efforts. And of course it was 1-0 to the 87th minute last Sunday. Good result from St James's Park. Newcastle now 2-0 up at home to Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester City, unbeaten under the Dutchman so far. And they did come back from 2-0 down against Brighton, Leicester, so plenty fight there, but Newcastle hoping to go into their Brentford Cup game in the week, and then their next league game at Portman Road off the back of what will be a much needed win for them. They've not been in great form under Eddie Howe of late. Well, a full match commentary of Town Newcastle next Saturday in match day between 2 and 6. 3 more games this year for Ipswich Town. This their penultimate away trip will be at the Emirates on the 27th of December. That 8:15 kick-off, Mick and myself. Will Town be looking for a third away win when we get there? Far side throw into Wolverhampton Wanderers. 90 seconds gone in the second half as the temperature continues to drop here at Molineux. Out of play for another throw to Wolves' far side. Aitnori edging further forward down that far touchline. Tomorrow in the Premier League, Palace go to Brighton and Southampton host Tottenham, incidentally, and teams down there. Wide left, Wolves have the ball with Bellegarde. His attempted cross comes off Clark. 2 Town players appeal that it should be a goal kick. Instead, the referee said second corner of the game to Wolves early in the second half.
Yeah, they just started to push Town back, but we saw this little early burst seen away in the first half, and that's what we need to do. We've absolutely packed our 6-yard box with blue shirts.
Corner kick to Wolves. Doyle puts it into our right, well held by Murch. Gloves way above everybody else in there. That's nice calm handling from the Town number 1.
Yeah, terrific take again. It's all these little things that brings back confidence. He's maybe only had 5 contributions in the game so far, but they've all been good.
One clean sheet in 11 before today for Ipswich Town. Delap infield to Hutchinson. Hutchinson square to Morsey. Burns wants it inside the area. Burns has got it in the Wolves box. A chance, he shoots. Saved by the goalkeeper. Really good save. That was going to the far corner. Hutchinson recycles to Davis in the box. Davis with the back heel to Hutchinson. Down the left channel inside the area. Too many players the way to shoot. Pulls it back to Kayuste outside the box. He turns. Swift footwork again from the Swede. Now Davis down the left hand side. That was a real chance. Burns did very well. Credit the goalkeeper for a very, very good save. So close to 2-0 though. Back it goes to Burgess on this left hand side. Burgess looks up, little ball round the corner to Chaplin. Nice link up play between those two as they did on Sunday for the goal. Chaplin back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson shapes to pass it to Burgess, does so at the second attempt. Burgess infield to Clark. Clark takes on Lamina, gives it to Kayuste. Kayuste plays it off Cunha, but it loops up in the air to the initial target, O'Shea. Now Morsey, this is good from Town. Morsey to Chaplin. He steps over the ball with a dummy, read by Bueno. Bueno to the centre, Strand Larson. Loses out to Kayuste, good challenge from him. Chaplin through the middle to Delap, lovely ball. The keeper's there, though. Johnson clears off the edge of his box. He's had a busy couple of minutes.
Well, that was a good sequence of play, and that was our positive old Wes Burns back again. He just decided when that ball was coming to him, he was going to have a cross shot, and it was a good one as well.
Really good. I thought that was going to be his moment there. Wes Burns, ball goes back towards Murich. Murich swings the ball out to the left-hand side. Burns trying to be the latest Ipswich Town player to score in League One, the Championship and the Premier League. Infield, Semedo gives the ball to Bellegarde. Bellegarde gives it to Cunha. It's lively, this one. Doyle. In steps Kayuste. Davis comes away with the ball up towards Delap. Delap's controlled it very well. Davis was caught late, though, by Semedo. Delap's first touch was wonderful.
Well, excellent, persistent work by Kayuste. I mean, he kept going and going to make sure that the guy didn't get any daylight whatsoever to get a shot away. That was good work from the central midfield player. And then in the end, Leif Davis and Liam Delap are trying to sort of tidy up the situation and develop it as well. In the end, we get a free kick, but you know, we started off defending, but we're doing it very confidently.
Good player, Kayuste, you can see that. Here is Murich on the edge of his box, rolls it out to the left, and Burgess makes himself available. He looks to halfway, rolls the ball up to Delap, gets a nudge in the back from Semedo. Wolves have it again with Doyle. Good play under 21s football whilst at Manchester City. Bellegarde, not enough on that, tried to put it around the back of Burgess for Strand Larson to run onto. Burgess read it, cleared, only as far as Semedo, the number 22, looks for Cunha, little touch to Lamina. Town get it away, in goes Semedo before Morsey, gets it back to Totti. Totti eventually touches the ball. Doyle out to the right hand side, immediately Doyle's getting involved. Doherty, lovely flick from Cunha, just away from Bellegarde. He brings Kayuste down. Definite free kick to Town outside their area.
Yeah, no question. This is a little bit of pressure that we've got to just see away, and at the moment we're doing it well. We're doing it with numbers and collective defending.
Clark towards halfway far side, the Ipswich Town right in this second half. Afterwards, have your say on BBC Radio Suffolk. Call 0800 141 2121. Have a chat to Graham and Mick. Text 81333. So those messages SFK. Or you can WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, start those with SFK if you want to be involved in the Blue Hour on Monday night between 6 and 7. With me, it's Brenner at bbc.co.uk. The email, Wolves on the right hand side, Bellegarde. Town gave the ball away cheaply outside the Ipswich box. It's turned back to Doherty. Now he'd love to be involved in an equaliser. Doyle puts a high ball into the Ipswich box, headed away well by Clark in a central defensive area. Bueno gets over the top of Delap. Wolves with some pressure. Bellegarde down the right hand side of Doherty. Doherty nicks it into the middle, and it's well caught by Murich. He'll drop down on it to waste a few seconds.
Yeah, it's one of those spells that any team has to deal with, and has to deal with it in the right way. Do not concede, and it naturally comes to nothing. So this is a little moment that we've got to work hard. We've got to keep our minds alert and just see it away. It will disappear if you do it right.
Next game for Wolves away at Leicester next Sunday. That's a big game. They've got Man United here on Boxing Day. More goals from Graham. Still 1-0 here.
Yeah, Newcastle now 3 up at home to Leicester. Liverpool level with Fulham 1-1.
Delap with a lovely little header on towards Hutchinson. Hutchinson carries it on. Might have to go alone eventually. Just crowded out, and the ball goes back towards Johnston.
Yeah, he set up really nicely there, Murray Hutchinson, and I thought he was going to go clear, but unfortunately the defender just managed to deal with it.
Bellegarde seeing a lot of the ball down this right-hand side up against a combination of Davis first of all, and then Burgess if Davis doesn't get on the ball. Here is Semedo, back to the centre circle, and Bueno. Here is Doyle, he's certainly getting on the ball an awful lot, the number 20, with a point to prove. He's had other loans. He was on here alone initially from Manchester City. He's also played for likes of Cardiff and Sheffield United without ever making the breakthrough at Manchester City. Obviously knows all about Liam Delap's game. Doherty down the right for Wolves. Still no way of knowing which way this game is going to go. Doyle with a switch of play to Aït-Nouri. Nice control from him up against Burns. Aït-Nouri comes in field, gives it to Lamina. Lamina knocks the ball into the Ipswich area, headed by Davis behind. He had to do that. That was a classic Doherty run into the box, trying to get on that. That's the area he kind of gets his goals from, and Leif Davis had to stretch and grow tall enough to head it out behind.
Yeah, decent run, decent ball, but good defending from Leif. This is still a continuous moment where we just got to stay strong, see it away, and slow the game down when we can.
54 minutes played at Molineux. Wolves with a corner kick, and it comes from Doyle. Glancing header off the top of a Wolves head. Hutchinson sprints away far side with the ball, so that'll do. He's held up by Aït-Nouri. Still got the ball. Hutchinson gets away from Aït-Nouri, who can't afford to pull him down. Hutchinson's done very well, runs it into the centre. Fine play from him, flicks it back. A bit too heavily for Kiyuste, but Ipswich still have the ball. The Swede has tracked back and got it in between O'Shea and Burgess. This game's just after Christmas time, particularly special for Murray Hutchinson. You think it's his last two clubs Town face in quick succession, Arsenal, then Chelsea. I'd love to really turn it on in those matches. All of them live on BBC Radio Suffolk. It's a kick over Christmas and into the new year. Muric goes out to Kiyuste, back to O'Shea inside the Ipswich Town penalty area. He bypasses Strand Larsen by finding Burgess. Home fans for the first time in the second half starting to get a bit annoyed. Long from Burgess to Delap. Flag was always going to go up against the 10, number 19. And indeed it does. We'll hear from Kieran McKenna before 6 o'clock as well. Tonight celebrates 3 years in charge of Ipswich Town on Monday. Incredible to think that it's just 3 years since he came in and positively turned this club on its head. It would be lovely for him to win a Premier League game to celebrate. Well done by Burns, nipped it away from Aït-Nouri. This could be interesting. Town have players forward. Burns tries to thread it to Delap. It comes off a Wolves defender, and nothing comes of that when it looked promising. Lamina glides away from a half-hearted Delap challenge. Lamina up to the halfway line. He is a player, but that was a poor pass. Well done, Harry Clark. Did some really good defensive work, drifting into central areas, Clark, in this game. There is the opposing fullback near side, Davis. Davis to Kiyuste. Now it's Chaplin into the path of Burns. Can Ipswich Town go 2-0 ahead? Burns to the edge of the Wolves area. Still has it. Left-footed, tries his cross. Comes off of Aït-Nouri. The two of them battling for the ball. Lovely control from Aït-Nouri after it had gone into the clouds. He's done ever so well there. Real quality in his touch. Doyle back into the Wolves penalty area. His manager will be pleased with the way he's got involved in the game. Long from Semedo. Bellegarde's on a run. Burgess is no slouch though. Burgess covers the ground really well, still has the ball, gets it back to his keeper. Terrific defending again from Cameron Burgess. Kiyuste gets the better of Cunha, then holds him off, goes to ground, wins a free kick. That'll do.
Yeah, some good work there from individual players. Well done, Cameron Burgess. That wasn't easy. He did his job really well, and he played a difficult ball to Muric. That was difficult for Muric then to continue the situation and not make a mistake. He played a decent ball out, and then Kiyuste again, you know, he sort of stayed strong in possession of the ball and got Town a free kick. So I just hope that little spell of Wolverhampton's now has petered out, and now it's going to flatten out the game and become a little bit more end-to-end. That's what we obviously will want. The team will want that, and it is a possibility that we're coming into that sort of spell. You know, we've been backs to the walls. Now, you know, Wolves can only do it for so long, and this might just be our moment.
Just dislocated his finger there, Cunha. I think it's been popped back in. I was kind of wincing watching that as Mick was but he's going to be all right to come back on, I think. Kiyuste was very fair and gentlemanly with him, checking up on his well-being. He's just getting it strapped up in front of us, the Brazilian. Somebody that could turn this game on its head in a flash, but for the moment, Town good value for this 1-0 lead. Still 2 minutes shy, though, of the hour mark. As Muric clears the ball up towards Delap. Delap's header finds Davis. Infield to Morsey, the captain. Delap's making a run. Morsey to Hutchinson on the centre spot. Then Chaplin. Lovely reverse pass. What vision from Chaplin. A brilliant ball. Burns inside the area. Into the middle. It comes towards Delap. Didn't get enough on it. Just came off his knee and it went wide. Brilliant play though. What a ball from Chaplin to release Burns.
All the passing was fabulous. The cross was brilliant. I just think that Liam should have launched his head to the ball. The most accurate part of your body, generally speaking, is your head, and I think that was a headable height. I'll have a look at the replay, but that is what I thought, but he's gone. No, he's got it wrong.
Good play from Town. Another chance for 2-0. Nice Cruyff turn from Kiyuste. Runs out of pitch near side. Gary O'Neill quickly throws the ball up towards Doherty. Camera zooming in on Burns for what would have been a fine assist. 14 gone in the second half. Cunha back on the field for Wolves, who desperately need an equaliser from somewhere. Far side. Totti to Aït-Nouri. So don't really expect this game to finish 1-0. Of course, gladly tempt fate if it is the case. Ooh, a chance from Semedo. Hutchinson would have robbed him and been away. Semedo got away with it, then made a mess of it. Again, Clark in a good position centrally to win the ball. Morsey over the top to Hutchinson, offside. Comfortably offside, I can see that from here, and he shouldn't have been. Leicester getting a walloping at St James's Park. Hopefully Newcastle scoring all their league goals this week rather than next week. They're 4-0 up now. Have got some very good attacking players, the likes of Isak and Gordon in particular.
Harry Clark has nicked the ball really well there, and Amari should not have been offside. That was a bit of laziness on his behalf, if you like, because he had a good position. Harry Clark's nicked the ball and he's seen the position of Amari, and he's passed it in that direction, but it's woefully badly offside. It's 2-3 yards offside.
Also have to remember that Town have dropped 15 points from winning positions this season. No one has dropped more in the Premier League. Let's hope they don't do that here this afternoon. It's a chance, it really is a chance. Still over half an hour of play to go. Wolves on the attack. Davis, poor touch, but Doherty's offside. Doherty's pullback goes to Cunha, who can't even finish because Muric blocks it away nonchalantly inside his 6-yard area. But it's a free kick to Ipswich Town at left back. This would be a 21st Premier League loss of the calendar year for Wolves. Nobody by distance has lost anywhere near that number. They ended last season with 1 win in their last 10, so the writing was on the wall to an extent before they lost the quality of Neto and Kilman in the summer. They've generated something like £240 million worth of sales across the last half a dozen transfer windows. Wolves, and just not replaced them with enough quality. Muric down the line, goes away from Delap, out of play it right back for a throw to Wolverhampton Wanderers on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Start the build-up in the matchday preview on Friday with Graham ahead of that visit of Newcastle United. Johnston inside his area, closed down by Delap, just released it to the left, and Totti plays it out to Aït-Nouri, almost robbed by Burns. Aït-Nouri's kept the ball in over in the far left corner, gives it back to Totti jabs the ball up in the air. Clark takes it down on his chest. He's lost out 2-on-1, then he drags down Aït-Nouri. It's going to be a free kick and a yellow card, I think, for Harry Clark, first Ipswich Town player to be cautioned in this match.
Yeah, he's having to sort of change his game a little bit, Harry Clark. That's why he's nicked a few nice balls infield, because their wide players have decided to go infield a long way, and I think, like Harry Clark has said,
Cunha to Lamina, trying to play the 1-2, but it wasn't a good return ball from Lamina, cleared away by O'Shea on the far side of the field. There are a couple of players that could unlock Ipswich Town, Lamina and Cunha. Strand Larsen's a threat as well, but they'd be the creators behind him based on what we've seen. This man Doyle Has been nice since he came on the field, but sitting very deep at the moment. Given away by Wolves. Leif Davis shields the ball, then goes down. Free kick given against him. Given for the challenge against him, should I say.
Yeah, what I'm saying about Harry Clarke, he's saying I'll go infield and Mark Cooner infield if you like, but Wes, you're going to have to do a complete tracking back job on the left back, Nori, and then we can work it out nicely if that happens, and that's what he's doing. And Harry Clarke, apart from his booking, he's been doing very well.
Guedes coming on. Davis with the ball into the box from a free kick, maybe a chance for Chaplin. Semedo's tripped by Chaplin, is he? Yes, the referee says free kick. Chaplin's been caught in there as well, but he's going to be okay. Yeah, Guedes, another one of the Portuguese contingent, a striker, is going to be coming on for Wolves to replace Doherty. The change of system for Wolverhampton Wanderers for sure. It's an offensive alteration. See how Wolves line up. Well, it's gone to a back four, whether Bellegarde's going to drop back. Needs must for Gary O'Neill to wonder, as he keeps saying, what this result, if it stands, might mean for his future. Headed forward by Davis, ball out on this near side of the field. Go through to Ipswich Town. 1-0 Ipswich lead, that own goal in the first half, the difference. Davis throws the ball to Morsey. Semedo gets it up to halfway. Guedes just on the field for Wolves. Chaplin goes after him, holds him up. Guedes, the number 29, goes back to Nori. Goes away from a couple of challenges. Chaplin brings him down. The referee says it's a free kick. Chaplin felt that he got the ball. And so this free kick, only about 10 yards or so inside Ipswich Town's half of the field. It's going to be a long final 26 minutes here. Remember, call afterwards 0800 141 2121. Text 81333. Doyle over the top of this free kick. Start those texts SFK. Same with your WhatsApps at 08000 321 333 and that. Email to me for Monday's Blue Hour, Brenner at bbc.co.uk, BRENNER at bbc.co.uk. Hutchinson scoops the ball over the halfway, but also over the top of Delap. Bueno rolls it back towards his goalkeeper, Johnston. His debut actually against Ipswich Town in the Cup last year, this man Bueno. The Wolves were much changed and surrendered that 2-0 lead. Given away by Johnston. The crowd react. Clarke sends it back to Aro Muric. Muric towards the halfway line. Bueno with a header. Chaplin clips it high. Delap will battle the Wolves' defence. Bueno gives him a little nudge. Delap's still going to come away with the ball. He's done well. Chaplin spots the pass to Hutchinson. Davis is on his bike. Davis inside the area. Might have to take it on himself. He still has it. He shoots, blocked. Comes back to him. Davis can't adjust his feet quickly enough to have another go. Doyle comes away with the ball. Shields it from Hutchinson. Gives it infield to Semedo. A little drag back. Doyle has time at right back to fire it down this near touchline. Strand Larsen's a mile offside. Burgess only had eyes for the man with the flag down below us, and he knew he was going to get the decision.
Yeah, good defending.
Flag's up directly in front of us as Kieran McKenna just zips up his jacket. A few Santa hats in the crowd amongst the Wolves fans that the TV cameras have just zoomed in on. Approaching the final quarter of this match on BBC Radio Suffolk Town, which has one win here since November 91. Would be a very, very rare victory if they could pull this one off. Semedo towards Strand Larsen, over the top of him and Burgess, so Shea covers him behind. Guedes, obviously nice and fresh, goes after that ball. It's back to Muric. Muric belts it high to the centre spot. Hutchinson goes up, it's over the top of him and Doyle. Lamina battling with Morsey. Morsey wins a header. Hutchinson brings it down as slick as ever, but only for Bellegarde. Nice drag back from Bellegarde. Morsey almost tripped him. Bellegarde somehow kept his feet. Wants to take on Kiyuste. Good refereeing, played the advantage. Nori inside the Ipswich Town area. Lots of blue shirts back. He's still got it. Nori shoots, deflected. Corner kick to Wolves. That was a strange old passage of play.
Yeah, it's good refereeing. He's allowed the advantage to be played, and they didn't make the most of it, but they've gone to a back four, Wolverhampton, so that's in a way a plus point for us again, the fact that we've now forced the opposition into going into a different system to see if they can retrieve the game.
Corner kick to Wolves. heading into the final quarter of this match. In from Doyle, didn't get away from the first man, Morsey. He heads it away as far as Aït-Nouri. Bellegarde knocks it back into a hopefully dangerous area for Wolves, but it's straight into the grasp of Aaron Muric. Neither manager visible at the moment, both sitting down in their dugouts looking at screens. Gary O'Neill and Kieran McKenna.
Yeah, there's the back four, Brenner. There's two in front of them, and then there's the four up the front. I'm not really sure, exactly where they're playing, but they're just all in a line up front.
Well done, Davis. Gets the better of Bellegarde. Wants to lap to make a run. Runs into Semedo. Well, they are square pegs and square holes. Semedo is really a right back. Aït-Nouri a left back, and the two centre halves in between them.
Yeah.
So nobody's out of position there. They all know their roles well enough. Davis has won Ipswich Town a free kick. Davis over this free kick. Just trying to hear what the home crowd was chanting. I don't know, we want O'Neill out. Certainly we want someone out. It was directed towards one of the club owners, I don't know. Just a pocket of supporters unhappy. Davis with this long free kick, belts it high into the Wolves box. Up goes the goalkeeper, he spilt it, will drop down to Lemina. Lemina pushes it down the far side. Morsey's in there ahead of Guedes. Doesn't take any prisoners with that one. And the ball's out of play, possibly for a Wolves throw. Is the referee pointing towards the left back area?
Yeah, perhaps it actually went out of play.
Yeah, it has. It's a throw to Wolves, round about left back. The assistant far side is just gesturing to Aït-Nouri to wander back a few yards. Takes it short, the throw, and then in field to Lemina. 21 minutes to go for Ipswich Town to hold on to this lead or ideally extend it. Wolves with Semedo coming forward. In field it goes to Bellegarde. Bellegarde knocks a ball wastefully. Muric is going to come towards it. Big shout from him. Harry Clark ducked underneath it, and Muric has got a hold of it. And again, another good half-decent position for Wolves comes to nothing. They're bringing on Hwan, who scored at Portman Road last season, the South Korean.
They're trying everything, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I don't know who he's going to come on for. Burgess to Davis to Kayuste. Kayuste with the ball looking for Delap. Hard for Delap to do anything with that. O'Neill, who's a good midfielder in his day, throws the ball to Bueno. Everything being on at a rate of knots as far as Wolves are concerned. I'm sure any late set pieces the keeper will be going up for. Morsey nicks the ball to Delap. Delap puts it forward all the way up to Johnston. 20 to go. Johnston of Wolves tests out Burgess in the air. Strand Larsen gets a bit of good fortune, gives it back to Lemina. Guedes has made a run. Lemina can't find him. Wasted again from Wolves. Just that final ball, just as they get towards a threatening area, things kind of break down.
Yeah, they're agitated. The supporters are really agitated now. They're chanting, they want the manager out, they're getting on to the players. They're not going to help the cause, but it'll help us, that's for sure.
Clark looked to pass forward, dealt with by Totti, headed on for Wolves. Strand Larsen then challenged by Clark. Ooh, that was worrying. Here come Wolves. Aït-Nouri, Guedes into the box. Cunha! It's 1-1. Matheus Cunha with a big goal at Molineux. It's his 8th of the season. He's a quality footballer. Town's clean sheet has disappeared. What a final 19 minutes we're in store for on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. It's Wolves 1, Ipswich Town 1.
Yeah, I think it's a little mistake by Harry Clark, I believe it was, in sort of just halfway inside our half, and then it just presented an opportunity which they capitalised on. That, no more than that. It wasn't really even much of a chance. It's hell of an angle, but it's gone past Muric, I think, on his near post.
Is that a criticism? People always say that about goalkeepers.
No, well, I think so, yes, Brendan. I think it's a marginal thing with Harry Clark, but it's a mistake. But it's a cross shot. It's actually, I think, just Harry Clark has tried to retrieve his mistake, and he's the one sliding in trying to get the block.
The goalkeeper's going to get stick for that.
Yeah, it's gone down the near post.
That's not good goalkeeping, it has to be said. Well, let's see what happens. 1-1 live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Semedo clears to halfway. Strand Larsen with a header down to Hwang just on the field. In amongst that, didn't quite see who was taken off. We'll have to have a little look around. Bellegarde, I think, is the player who's gone off. Yeah, does seem to be him. Well, Wolves sensing blood. Here's Hwang, lays it off to Lamina. Well, a 1-0 lead turned into a 2-1 defeat last week. Let's see what Town can do against Wolves. Guedes, ball into the box, deflected. Chaplin heads it away, not too far. Wolves with their tails up. Doyle to Cunha. Back it goes to Doyle, very close to the referee, who rather got in the way. Different atmosphere here at Molineux now. Lamina to the right-hand side. Guedes. Town let slip yet another lead. Ball from Semedo towards the far stick. Burns is going to have work to do. Cunha should keep that in. Can't quite. Flags up far side through to Ipswich Town. They get a little breather, and it's much needed.
Yeah, it's a shame really, because they had a lot of pressure early in the half. I thought we saw that away quite comfortably. Came back into the game. And that is very much against the run of play. The crowd were actually sort of voicing their opinion against the manager, against the team. That's how poorly Wolves were playing. And then it's really taken one sort of minor error by Harry Clarke and a poor piece of goalkeeping.
Taylor and Jack Clarke coming on for Ipswich Town now. Foul on Kayuste by Lamina on the halfway line. Here come the changes. Double change for Ipswich Town. Kayuste goes off. Not enough in the tank for him to get to the 90th minute. He's replaced by Jack Taylor. And Chapman is the player that goes off. Chapman's replaced by Clarke. Chaplin and Kayuste off. Taylor and Clarke, the two Jacks, are on.
Taylor's a 1-for-1, and Amari Hutchinson's gone to 10, and Jack Clarke has gone to the left side attacking role, and Connor Chaplin comes off.
Burgess goes back to Murich. There will be question marks over that goal. Cleared by him to the halfway line. One in the air by Semedo. Taylor with a little nod down onto the chest of Morsey. Back it goes to Taylor. We had a decent game against Bournemouth. Taylor looks for Burns, intercepted by Aït-Nouri. Cunha tries to get Aït-Nouri in, goal side of Clarke. Aït-Nouri into the middle. Taylor's there, well positioned. Whoa, I never saw it end in 1-0 this game, and I don't really see it ending 1-1. Here come Wolves again. Totti, ball into the box. Strand Larsen! Great block from Burgess to keep it at 1-1. Brilliant defending yet again from the Australian.
Yeah, we're just having a difficult 5 minutes. At the moment we've conceded one. That was almost a chance. A terrific block by Cameron Burgess.
Superb defending yet again. Players went towards him as if to celebrate a goal. And you know how important that was. Wolves on top, trying to go ahead for the first time. Doyle with a corner kick punched away by Murich as far as Cunha. Cunha hits it, blocked away by Burgess just in front of the line. Cleared by Delap to the halfway line. And Semedo, still 15 minutes of normal time to go in this game. Jack Clarke running towards the goalkeeper. Aït-Nouri, lovely touch to Hwang on the left-hand side. Coming forward, Wolves into the box, a chance into the middle. It's off an Ipswich Town player, Burgess again, almost a one-man defence back there. Corner kick to Wolves. Ipswich Town really are rocking at the moment.
Well, our defenders are having, the centre-halves rather, are having to really work overtime at the moment, and this is all, if you like, so unnecessary, because Wolves weren't playing well. They needed a lift from somewhere, and I think we gave it to them.
Doyle with a corner kick for Wolves. Everyone back for Town. Murich, good handling, near post. Well done.
But that's better. Help him. That's better. He's not had a problem with that in this game. You know, his taking of the crosses have been good. His punching has been excellent. You know, it's just that one shot on the near post that he's probably guilty of.
Jack Clarke back to Burgess. Got a heavy touch. He got it away from Hwang, back to Murich. Murich then lifts it over the top of Hwang. Only just. Goodness me. Burgess back to Murich, playing their own little game. Murich closed down by Strand Larsen. Back to Burgess. Then Burgess locks it to the halfway line. Flick header from Jack Clarke's a really good one. Liam Delap's got the ball on the left-hand side. Knocks it forward, looking for the run of Jack Clarke. Just gets through to Johnston. Johnson underarm to Doyle. Really lively game this now. 13 minutes to go. Poor pass from Semedo out of play. Cunha's less than impressed.
As long as we can keep our our temperament, right. I still believe in this game, I think we can hit them on the break without question.
Davis, infield. Wolves have got a lot of very talented attack-minded players on the pitch. Aït-Nouri to Lamina, short from Lamina. Morsey allowed to get in there. Ball's out far side. Oh, look at Lamina, Hwang, Guedes, Strand Larsen, Cunha, Aït-Nouri. But maybe a little light at the back, as Mick was just saying. Massive onus on that back four in Doyle. Otherwise, everybody else is likely to pour forward. Cunha, ball into the box, touched on by Strand Larsen. Muric touched it. It's out for another corner kick. I think it's 6-0 on corners in the second half to Wolves. Well, this would be quite some win if Ipswich Town can pull it off somehow. It's going to be Doyle to take this corner kick for Wolves. They certainly believe they can go on and get a massive 3 points, and it comes from Doyle, followed away by Burgess after the man on the near stick missed it. Morsey stretches and lifts it into the Wolves half of the field, controlled there by Semedo. Semedo knocked it forward to the right hand side. Hwang with a bit of space to cause some problems just on the field, blocked off by Burgess. Again, he's been magnificent out as far as Jack Clark. He's in a battle with Doyle, loses the ball out because Hwang, a little bit of afters. Wolves the only team in this at the moment. Ipswich Town run ragged, chasing shadows, unable to get a hold of the ball. It's only a matter of time for Wolves. They have 11 minutes of normal time to go. Lamina into the centre circle. Bueno, Martin Pert and Kieran McKenna in a conversation. Doyle looking forward to Cunha. Again, Burgess is in the way. Another shout for him to be man of the match. Good run from Taylor. Taylor's carried it a good distance in midfield. Then he finds Hutchinson on the right-hand side. A rare forward for Town. Hutchinson's got the better of Aït-Nouri. Will he accept a corner? Yes, he will. Town's first of the second half.
Yeah. And I think we're well capable of doing that type of thing. Just if we get the defending right, I think we can break and cause problems, because Wolves have pretty much gone for broke.
Ali Al-Hamadi coming on for Ipswich Town. That's the perfect opportunity to kind of puncture the air of optimism and belief inside Molineux. Ipswich Town can score from this corner kick. A chance for
ridiculous defending. There you go.
A chance for Ipswich Town to play the short corner. They do. Davis gives it to Hutchinson inside the area. Hutchinson still has the ball. Gets to the byline, no, not quite. Then dinks it into the centre. A second opportunity. Burgess is up there, headed away by Doyle in front of his goalkeeper. That was messy. Wolves got away with it. Guedes chips it up to the centre circle, where Taylor nods it to the left. Guedes is going to try and rob Jack Clark. He nearly did, but Jack Clark comes away with the ball. The number 47 runs into the Wolves box. Great run from Clark. Gets to the byline, into the middle, deep cross. Way too much on that from Clark. Could have done better after some really good work initially. Burns, beaten by Aït-Nouri. Ball has stayed in far side. Wolves have a chance to come forward on that far side. This is interesting. Cunha has everything to his right-hand side. Town coming back en masse. Cunha still has the ball. Knocks the ball into the box over the top of Taylor. Controlled by Guedes. Too heavy a touch out behind.
Yep, the game is still on. We're capable. That was a good move. That was a good. Took it short. We almost created an opportunity, and then they've broken well. But I tell you, this is so stretched. This game, it's unbelievable. The midfield of Wolverhampton. Doyle is trying to anchor it desperately on his own. Lamina is going all over the place in search of maybe creating something. Creating a win, if you like, but he is vacating a vital area, and there's a massive hole in the centre of midfield for Wolverhampton.
Double change for Ipswich Town. Ben Johnson's coming on. I did wonder if that might be it for Harry Clarkson. He's on a yellow card and looked a little bit tired and wobbly of late. So it's Al-Hamadi and Johnson about to come on. After much thought went into these changes. Ooh. Just heard from Alex Matthew. He definitely questions the goalkeeper over that goal as well. He's saying that. Doyle finds Cunha in a pocket of space. He shoots from a distance. Muric is behind that one. Almost went out for a corner kick in the end. Very ambitious from Matheus Cunha that time. His goal, the only one of the second half so far on BBC Radio Suffolk. 8 minutes to go. So obviously a better result for Ipswich Town as the away team, but both sides want more. Clark down the far side, headed on by Burns, collected by Totti. Back it goes to that far side. Totti once again. But if Burns is going to get a rare 90 minutes as the ball in the Premier League, as the ball goes back to Johnston, bangs it first time, just over 7 to play. Strand Larsen brings the ball down. Burns tries to get it to Hutchinson. Hutchinson obviously playing in the 10 role since Jack Clark's come on. Semedo goes down by Jack Clark. Guedes gets the better of Davis. Guedes as a player in the centre goes to Strand Larsen! Just wide. O'Shea did enough. He went with him, put him off. But Strand Larsen will feel that was an opportunity, but good defending by the Irishman.
I think it's a foul on Leif Davis down this our left touchline, their right touchline. I think the referee was poor on that, on not making a decision there, but once he let the play go, it was a great cross. It just got on the goal side of our defenders, and it was a half a chance.
Burns actually gone off. Johnson will play in front of Clark just to shore up that right-hand side, and as you'd expect, Al Hamady is coming on for Delap, who obviously does tire once you kind of get to that hour mark in games. This is where I keep saying that Town clearly missing George Hurst a heck of a lot. Who knows, Hurst might have started a game recently as well, just to give Delap a little bit of a rest. That's it for Burns this afternoon. Had one really good effort on goal, which was very well saved by Johnston. 2-0, you never know.
Yeah, it was a better day for Wes Burns. He was more positive, he was more direct, and that was more like his old self.
Town player, this goal kick very short inside their area. Burgess eventually gets it away. 6 minutes to go in this game. Al Hamady's going to try and get on this one. Bueno gets it back to his goalkeeper Johnston. First time clearance, not overly confident. The ball at his feet, Sam Johnston. Well controlled by Taylor. And it's out for a throw-in to Ipswich. Well, if you can't win it, don't lose it will be the mantra from Ipswich Town's perspective, unlike last Sunday when they did get nothing from a 1-0 lead for so long. Ball forward, oh, Cunha missed in the air by Clark. Cunha in on goal. Cunha saved by Muric, comes back to Cunha, he's blasted over the bar. Oh, two really good chances. Clark struggling over there.
As Harry Clark missed the crossfield ball again. It is the one thing he doesn't really like doing, but he's just fractionally got underneath the ball.
Credit the goalkeeper though, not to say that. Save from Muric, well done. Chance for Wolves, hopefully their last. 5 minutes of normal time to go. Hutchinson turns into trouble, gives the ball away to Totti. Totti to Lamina. Here's Cunha once again to Doyle outside the Ipswich area. Doyle has a go, it swerves away from the net and into touch for a goal kick to Ipswich Town. I can barely watch this last 5 minutes.
This is the same question as last week. Would you take a draw, or would you stay out here to see if you could get one last chance?
Attendance 30,866. Good crowd for this game between the teams 19th and 18th. Town after Newcastle next Saturday, go to Arsenal on the 27th, and it's Chelsea at home on the Monday the 30th, final game of the year. Then it's Fulham away, first game of 2025 at Craven Cottage. Bristol Rovers at home the following Sunday, and then that random Thursday night home game against Brighton. That's their next few games off the back of this one. Lamina gets the better of Johnson, a little bit lightweight from Johnson. Lamina infield, Wolves have the ball to Doyle. Doyle shoots straight at Muric. He could have played in Guedes. Very poor decision making that from Tommy Doyle, and Guedes would have had a heck of a chance for a winning goal.
Yeah, it was a good, they got pretty free there, you know, and we were really sort of on the caution. We've got away with it.
There's Morsey. He's been quite quiet, Sam Morsey. There is Clark far side, closed down by a couple of Wolves players. Back into the Ipswich area, and O'Shea goes square to Burgess, who had a bit of a go at Leif Davis for the last goal kicked at Burgess. Only Mr. Cool wasn't unhappy with something Davis wasn't doing. Oh, Taylor's robbed by Doyle. Doyle infield to Guedes into the Ipswich Town area. Strand Larson doesn't quite run his way. Town had lots of players back. Davis plays it out to Morsey. Lamina goes after him. Morsey releases the ball to Hutchinson. Al-Hamadi's staying on side, near side. Hutchinson still has the ball in the middle. Jack Clark wants it. Hutchinson runs into trouble. Taylor gets a hold of it. Would have been a free kick for the foul on Hutchinson. Lively stuff here with 2.5 minutes to go. Really entertaining.
Their manager's calling their 5 forwards back behind the ball because he realises it won't all be about Wolverhampton at the death.
Jack Clark to Johnson, 2 of the substitutes linking up. Johnson, edge of the Wolves area, in comes his driven cross, takes a deflection, goes to the near post area, stopped by Sam Johnston, and we are 2 minutes away from the 90 minutes being up. Gary O'Neill frustrated by Johnston taking his time. Can Ipswich Town hold on against this very attack-minded current Wolves 11 out there? 8 Nori. Good feet. There's a slick-looking player. Cunha, the equalising scorer, takes on Morsey, gets away from him, gives it to Lamina, continued his run. Cunha might go through the middle. Murich is there just before the penalty spot. Up against the flying studs of Cunha, trying to touch it past him for what would have been a really good goal. Johnson towards Hutchinson, holds the ball up against Nori, then lays it off back to Johnson on the far side of the field. Clark against Lamina. Wolves fancy it, or did, before Johnson came on. Down that left of theirs against Clark in particular. Doyle up towards Cunha, trying to be too clever, the little back heel into the path of Hwang. Ipswich get the ball out far side. This would be bearing in mind what's happening at the moment, a very good point in the end for Ipswich Town. They really are kind of just hanging on. Gary O'Neill asking the 4th official how many extra minutes there are going to be. Are there enough? 2. To save his job. That would be nice, wouldn't it? We'd take that. Home fans won't be too happy. Totti with a needless touch. The ball breaks to Hutchinson. Al-Hamadi's through the middle, wanting it, staying on side. Hutchinson's held on to the ball. He's still got it. Good run from Hutchinson. Finds Davis. This might be a chance for Town to go on and win it. Davis gets inside the area, goes down under a challenge from Guedes. Just on the edge of the box. Nothing doing, says the referee. And nor should there have been, by the looks of that. Cleared away by Semedo. Up towards Hwang. Won by O'Shea. Cunha with a little back header to Semedo. Now it's with Johnston. Final 15 seconds. Morsey has the ball in the centre circle. Can Town deliver a sucker punch and win this game against the odds? Clark coming forward. Harry gets it up towards Al-Hamadi. Back to Harry Clark. Lovely play. Then Jack Clark in the D. A chance for Ipswich Town. Closed down. Took too long. Out as far as Taylor. Taylor lifts it intelligently to Davis inside the box. Wolves have defenders coming back. Ipswich Town have the ball edge of the area with Jack Taylor. Taylor with a little drag back. Back it goes to Davis. 3 minutes of added on time to be played. We're into it. Davis is crossed to the middle. Flicked on by Jack Clark. Headed away by Lamina. Touched on by Strand Larson. Wolves have a chance to break. 8 Nori on the far side. Don't bet against one of these sides winning this currently 1-1 game. 8 Nori has it. Back come the blue shirts off to our right. 8 Nori at walking pace, knocks the ball forward, very tired ball, headed away by Harry Clark. Al-Hamadi's almost robbed by Doyle, so a good second half Doyle. Al-Hamadi brings the ball away effortlessly to Hutchinson. Al-Hamadi wants the return. Hutchinson over the top to Al-Hamadi. What's his first touch like? It's 2-on-2. Al-Hamadi for Ipswich Town, edge of the Wolves box, getting inside the area. Still the Iraqi has it. Al-Hamadi might go it alone, and his shot is eventually wide. He doesn't even get a corner kick in the end after all of that.
He was unlucky. We defended really well. We got back, defended it, and then Al-Hamadi was up against a very tired-looking player. I wasn't sure which one it was, but I really fancied him to run past him and get himself a chance.
Strand Larson beaten by Burgess. Town's best player, Burgess. Morsey up towards Jack Clark. We're into the second half of the added on 3 minutes at the end of this game. Clark infield to Hutchinson, might go back to Jack Clark. No, he was tripped. Harry Clark with a header down, then lost the ball. Burgess steps in there ahead of Strand Larson. O'Shea finds Taylor. Still got to fancy a bit of late drama in this game. We're heading towards the final minute. With the added on 3, Hutchinson to the right corner of the Wolves area, now gets inside the box, goes to the byline, hammers it into the middle, saved by Johnson as far as Morsey. Morsey knocks into a central area, headed away just over the top of Jack Clark. Town all of a sudden having a little spell, hoping to get the winning goal. Edge of the area, Hutchinson tries to find room for a shot, he goes down, nothing doing. Kieran McKenna appeals, so too Martin Pert, cleared away by Semedo. Final minute of this match. Burgess to Taylor. Town certainly go for it. They're not settling for a point away from home. Good to see. Davis crosses into the Wolves box. Headed away by Totti. Out for a corner kick, I think, to Ipswich Town.
Interesting.
Isn't it? All of a sudden, Town might go on and win this game.
Yeah, this will be the last bit of action, that's for sure. So it can only, as far as I could say, a draw or a Town win.
Final 20 seconds of this match, this supposed 6-pointer for both sides, the supposed must-win for both sides. It's 1-1 at the moment on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Is the sting in the tail, if there is to be one, a positive for Ipswich Town? They've committed plenty bodies forward. Jack Clark, the delivery has to be right. We know how Wolves are soft at set pieces, and it comes, it's headed, and it's in! Town have won it! It's Jack Taylor! Off comes the shirt to celebrate his first Premier League goal, and into the crowd he goes, far side. Under the cosh for so long in the second half. It looked like Town were going to be pegged back and have to settle for a point. Not on your life. They've won it right at the end. What scenes? Wolves 1, Ipswich Town 2.
We'll see. I was just wondering what their manager's going on about. The game should be over now. There's no time left whatsoever. What a good time to win a corner kick right at the death. It took the possibility of a Wolves win right out the window. You know, through that was terrific. Well done, Jack Taylor. Well done, and a good corner kick, by the way, as well. That was decent. Well, I don't know what's going on down here.
I thought I'd lost you for a second. I was looking at you, Mick. I thought you'd gone there. No, I didn't know quite where you were.
For me, the game was over. We won the game. I've taken the bonus.
Oh, great header from Taylor. Beautiful
I still don't
header
understand
into the
what's going on down
I don't care. Who cares? I really don't care what's going on.
You would love to know, Brenner, really.
I honestly could not give a monkey's. Town lead this game 2-1. And it would be lovely to speak to Jack Taylor after this game. Cunha's down at the moment off the pitch. Well, Gary O'Neill, heartbreak for him and for Wolves. Hopefully, anyway. Town has still got work to do. Burgess wins a header. There goes the full-time whistle. And Kieran McKenna celebrates 3 years in charge of Ipswich Town with a Premier League win. An astonishing 3 years in charge of Ipswich Town. What a way to celebrate that anniversary on Monday. Such drama right at the end of this game. You just never rule them out, Ipswich Town. For so long, if a team looked like winning this game, you'd have put money on it being Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now there's some silliness involving Delap and Nate Norrie. Players are having to get between them. Kieran McKenna's got in between them. This is really silly. Nate Norrie's lost it. He's desperate to get involved. Oh, he's going to get a yellow card, if not a straight red. They're all coming across to this near side. Wes Burns is having to go. Harry Clark dragging Wes Burns away. Players need to remember they can still get red cards. But Nate Norrie, he's surely going to get either a red or a second yellow. He can't be calmed down. It was very similar. Lamina had a moment like this post-match at West Ham on Monday, which made all the headlines on Tuesday morning, when Lamina totally lost it. Well, this has been as bad for Nate Norrie, and even now he's got 3 members of the Wolves staff surrounding him, trying to get away. Yet Simon Hooper's coming across. The referee spotted it from a long way away. Norrie's still desperate to have a go. He's been dragged down the tunnel by Craig Dawson. They're pleading with Simon Hooper not to give him a yellow card. Well, he's got to. He's not on this occasion, but he wants to sort something out. He wants to speak to some people out there. I don't know what went on between Delap, who obviously by that stage was a substitute. He wants a word with somebody. The referee is definitely pointing towards the Ipswich Town players. Something really got under the skin of Norrie. But amongst all of this, Ipswich Town have their second Premier League win of the season. Before we get a bit of analysis from that, I can see Kieran McKenna out there and amongst his players hugging them and so chuffed. And as I said there, it's the 16th of December 2021 that Ipswich Town employed Kieran McKenna, and to be in the Premier League 3 years down the line, but winning a game in the Premier League 3 years down the line is remarkable. And just on Jack Taylor, we've talked a few times off the back of Connor Chaplin's goal last weekend. He's completed the set, League 2, League 1, Championship, Premier League. Sam Morsey's also in that very short list. Well, Jack Taylor with that goal has gone one better. Jack Taylor has scored in the National League as it was, League 2, League 1, the Championship and the Premier League. I don't know who's done that in the past, but he scored in all top 5 divisions, Taylor, and that was a massive goal. And then amongst all of that craziness, when things went a bit nuts, it was actually a very, very good header. I think there's still going to be some repercussions from this game. Even now, you just get the impression, look at the referee's body language, Mick Mills, and amongst all of this, he still wants to sort something out, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's just little pockets all over the pitch of like incidents, things going on, and you just think, well, what's everybody upset? And the one that really intrigued me was actually their manager, Gary O'Neill. He seemed absolutely convinced that there was something wrong. I couldn't understand what he was going on about, but it just took away that nice sort of finish. We've under the cosh with so much, and then all of a sudden we sort of win ourselves a corner kick, and because there was no time left whatsoever, you knew that the only 2 results that were possible was a draw or a victory to Town if they could score from the corner, and they've scored. So they've done something that's happened to themselves so many times this season. They've had things snatched away from them. We snatched the points away from Wolves today, and that is just levelling up as far as I'm concerned. It's a bit patchy. The first half performance excellent, second half debatable. Had to defend so much, and it was incredible how halfway through the second half that Wolves picked up momentum, and you don't know where it came from. Were we responsible, or did they just raise their game brilliantly? Well, I'm not sure whether Wolves can do that type of thing, so I tend to feel that we were responsible for it. It might have been a little bit disheartening because the goal they scored was a minor mistake by Harry Clark, a big mistake by the goalkeeper, and from that moment you thought, well, we're going to possibly lose this one, but we just found something from somewhere, and we've got in the end a marvellous result, a really marvellous result.
Well, it's all kind of quieting down on the field. My biggest concern amongst all of that, just simply because Delap and Ait Nouri seem to be at the forefront of it all initially, was Delap getting a yellow card, which would have seen him miss Newcastle last week. But in the end, nothing visible out here anyway. Whether anything's been sorted out down the tunnel, I don't know. But everybody has kind of departed down the tunnel. The referee, Simon Hooper, in long conversations with Lee Grant and Shani Aluko as he came off the park, almost as if he was kind of gathering evidence as to what had went on. But we didn't see any yellow card for Delap, which is great. And already Jack Taylor's been dragged into a corner to talk about that historic goal for him, and a massive goal for both managers in very different senses. For Kieran McKenna getting his second Premier League win as Ipswich Town boss, but what that means for Gary O'Neill's future, only time will tell. Well, this massive game that was built up in all quarters has been won at the death so dramatically by that Jack Taylor header. It's finished breathlessly. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Ipswich Town 2, Graham.
I'm just so pleased Jack Taylor made it out. I thought it was like it was like the promotion celebration all over again. All that footage of him out and about town with supporters. What a moment that was.
I think he went looking for Harvey in the crowd, didn't he? Let's hope Harvey got a good view in the far corner.
Jack Taylor, the match winner for Ipswich Town at Molineux. What an afternoon. What a full match commentary on BBC Radio Suffolk. Let us know what you made of it. It's 5 o'clock. We're on air till 6 o'clock. We'll have post-match reaction